Hello everyone, welcome to Just Hangouts, the official podcast of Just Nerds, where we just hang and talk about any interesting topics we have related to TV shows, movies, games, and more. I am Jonathan, today's host of this episode, and with me, as always, is my co-host, the local Sonic fan, Blake.
Hello everyone. Unlike Jonathan, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my non-existent muscles. How you doing today, John?
I'm doing pretty well, and you?
I'm doing pretty okay. Doing pretty good. What is it? I'm trying to think of the Sonic song that relates to this.
Open your heart.
Oh, no, not that one. It was,
Live and learn.
Maybe it's a Tails song. Maybe it's a Tails song. Isn't it like Believe in Yourself or something like that?
Actually, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That's the one I was thinking of, but...
Yeah, but, I've been pretty good. You're just trying to live my life, and, some things going on, but I'm trying to work through them, and, that's not... That sounds a little bit more ominous than it's supposed to, but it's just life, Nothing bad.
Okay, good.
What about you?
I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad you're still here. Like I said, here I come, rougher than the rest of them, tougher than leather, and I'm doing good. I'm doing good, I'm excited to talk about today's topics today. Because there's some very interesting ones. But sir,
yes,
as we always do, I gotta ask, how have you been? But beyond how have you been? What you've been up to? What you've been playing? What you've been watching? What you've been exposed to?
Well, it's been a few weeks, maybe like 2.5 since we last recorded. So quite a few things actually.
Here we go.
So first, I'm gonna start on the watching. I've been watching. First, I watched Dr. Sleep, which is the sequel to The Shining, but not the sequel really to the book, and more of the sequel to The Shining by Stanley Kubrick, which is odd, kind of weird, very weird actually, especially because Stephen King didn't like Kubrick's adaptation. So you would think Stephen King would be like, no, you're adapting the book, not the movie. But no, but I'm not a huge Shining person. I think it's like a pretty good movie, but in terms of like, this is like the greatest horror film, one of the greatest movies ever made, I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not a huge fan of Jack Nicholson. He's very Jack Nicholson in that movie. Yeah. That's
a hot take, sir.
I think it's fine.
You should have warned me.
I enjoy it, but I think it's fine. And so, but I decided to watch Dr. Sleep because it looked interesting. It's got Ewan McGregor, who I love, and it was pretty good. The Shining is kind of a thing where it doesn't answer a lot of questions. Where it kind of, it's about, this thing we kind of talk about, but not really. But it's more about, what is it? Oh, we don't really discuss it. And that's, oh, wow. Ooh. But Dr. Sleep really, addresses more questions. What is The Shining? And, what can you do with it? And what that means? And it's pretty interesting. I think Ewan McGregor does a really good job in it. It's just a really solid movie. I would recommend it to a lot of people. I would say if you're a Shining fan, but I'm not a huge fan of Shining, but I still liked it a lot. I even bought it on Blu-ray, so that's how much I liked it. Thought it was very good for, again, a weird sequel to the Shining movie and not the book. Yeah, but what's funny is I watched Dr. Sleep, but the very next day I watched Birds of Prey, the emancipation of one Harley Quinzel. Did I get the whole thing right?
I think it's of the Fantabulous... No, it's the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn or something like that.
All right. Well, I watched that, also with Ewan McGregor.
Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But very two different performances from Ewan McGregor. Where in the first one, it's very heartfelt, kind of caring person who's kind of going through these struggles. And he comes out, I'm not spoil anything, but, it's an interesting journey with this character. And Birds of Prey, he's just going wild. He's just Black Mask and acting crazy. And just a crazy person. Wow. I love Ewan McGregor. He has a lot of range. He's freaking great. But for Birds of Prey, the movie, I talked to you about this a little bit outside of the podcast. I think it's... I don't know if it's better than Wonder Woman or not, but it's one of the better DCEU movies. I actually really enjoyed certain parts. I think the fight choreography is really cool. There's a fight scene in a police station with Harley Quinn, and that I think all of that was really fun and well thought out in terms of like the choreography and everything, how it played out. It was cool. I think in Suicide Squad it was a pretty bad movie, and I did not enjoy. I don't know if it's always a thing where I'm like, did I like Harley Quinn? Kind of. I didn't love her. It could just be the movie itself, but I wasn't a huge fan of Harley in Suicide Squad. But this, I was thinking many times like, wow, like Margot Robbie really plays into this role and really puts a commitment into it. Like she really, again, puts her all like she really cares about the role. And I thought this turned me around, going, no, I do like this version of Harley Quinn. Like she's really fun. It's entertaining to watch, and pretty much every time she's on screen is like the best parts of the movie and the most engaging. Ewan McGregor, I think he plays it really well. Black Mask, they go for a little bit too Joker zany crazy instead of just a cruel mob boss. Just from like my experience of seeing Black Mask, from things like Under the Red Hood and like Batman Origins or Batman Arkham Origins, and I went, yeah, this is like he's a lot crazier than what I'm used to, which I don't know if that is Black Mask or not, but characterization aside, McGregor, like I said, he's great. I think he plays a really fun villain, and so when like those two are on screen, I'm really pulled into the movie. Everything else is kind of like it's not bad, it's just pretty unengaging for me. Like the cop character, like what's her name?
Renee Montoya.
Montoya. I'm like, why is she here? I don't really understand. I don't think she's that interesting, really. There's like when the Birds of Prey form, I go like, why is she here? I don't really get it. Like, they do like she does cheesy lines, but like the characters go like, oh, like did she just say that like that cheesy cop line? And I'm like that's kind of funny, but it's still not a great line. I don't, for some lines it works. Others just like, no, that's just a bad line. Like I don't know. Huntress I love Mary Elizabeth Winstead, one of my favorite actresses. I didn't love the interpretation of Huntress very much. Just like I don't have a huge experience with Huntress, but they went for like she's like a tryhard pretty much. Like there's a scene where she practices in front of the mirror, like when people ask her who she is, and she's like, "Who am I?" And like, "Who am I?" Like, no, that's not it. And like, that's the kind of character to go for. Like, she's very socially awkward. Like, there's the scene where some characters do a fist bump, and she's like, "Oh, yeah." And she also does a fist bump. Like, oh, I didn't like that. Like, she's a very good actress, but like, in those scenes, I go, I think this is a victim of the writing. Like, the writing was just not, the script isn't strong, and so she feels kind of awkward in it. Black Canary, I liked Black Canary in the movie. I didn't love her. She was cool, but I told you this before, Blake. Like, I really like Black Canary, like in the comics and everything, and like all the animated shows. She's always great whenever she's there. This didn't really feel like Black Canary at all to me. Really, I think you could have named her any DC character with like sonic vibration powers, and I would have been like, this might be who that character is, sure. Like, or like, you know, they do liberties all the time, so I would have been like, sure. But because it's Black Canary, I went, I don't know. Like, I was thinking a few times, I literally thought like, there's that really bad scene in Supergirl that was over the internet where like this. Oh shit, that's kind of different. Never mind. But there is a villain in Supergirl that has sonic vibration powers.
White Banshee.
Sure, I'm like, just name the character White Banshee. Like again, you could have liberties with that character. Nobody is gonna be like, yo,
ruined White Banshee.
White Banshee. I don't think so, but because it's Black Canary, that might just be a me thing because I just couldn't get over it. But I was like, Black Canary was fine in the movie. Pretty much what I'm saying. Margot Robbie and Ewan McGregor, they were great, and everybody else and everything else is like, this is fine. Like, it's okay.
That's what I keep hearing about it. I mean, I know there's a feud going on between, I can't believe I'm saying this, Sonic fans and Birds of Prey fans. I never thought the day would come where I had to say
finally,
that.
Sonic fighting against these SJWs.
What?
I don't get it myself.
I don't get it either. I think Sonic was just a movie that came out and people...
Yeah, I was surprised Sonic, of all things, a kids movie.
I mean, I do have to admit, though, I have seen a lot of salty Birds of Prey fans who are just really upset that a lot of people aren't going to see it. But, I mean, if I could speak from my experience, there was a time where I was like, I had nothing to do. I was like, everything's closing down except the movie theaters, right? It was late at night, and I was like, I don't really want to go home, but there's nowhere else to go. I was like, I can go see a movie, right? I looked over everything, and like all the, like 1917, too late. It was too late. All
Good
the
movie.
showtimes. Yeah, I know. I want to see it, right? Too late to see it. Other movies like Sonic, I'm like, I'm going to wait to see that. I think there was one other movie that I was interested in, but I'm like, I'll wait on that. Or it didn't have a showtime. And I was like, Birds of Prey. Showtime in 45 minutes. Theater's like 10 minutes away from where I am right now. Do I not care about this movie?
Yeah.
Like it was weird, right? Like
Yeah,
I made an effort to go see.
It helps because I have Rico Unlimited, so it's like free for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't really cost anything. I think if it's on Netflix, like you should give it a watch. I think it's like if it's on Netflix, yeah, give it a watch. But like,
yeah,
if I had to pay for it, I don't know if I would.
And
personally,
that's the thing though. Is like, I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, I when I think about Birds of Prey, I'm like, first of all, I literally woke up one day and started seeing reviews on Twitter or Twitter and YouTube, and I was like, oh, I must have got some early screenings. No, the movie came out. Yeah. I didn't know that. I was like, oh my gosh, this is out. I remember, I think I texted you. I'm like, dude, Birds of Prey's out. I didn't know that. I don't know what it is about the movie. I loved, or I didn't love, but I really enjoyed.
I loved Suicide Squad.
No. I really liked Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. I thought she did a really good job, and I was like, oh, I'd be down to see a movie with her in that. And then it came, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of, and I mean, this is a bigger topic, and I'm not going to get into it, but like, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm just kind of tired. Like I feel old with the superhero movies. Like I'm just like, man, I'm tired. I don't want to deal with this anymore.
All right.
So that's a bigger topic, but I don't know, man. I'm just kind of tired, and while I want to see it, I don't really care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't think it's something like, I gotta go see this, but like if it's on TV or like on Netflix, go, and you have time, I'll put on just in the background, like check it out. Yeah. Then next I watched Fantasy Island, just a generic horror movie, and it is pretty bad. I expected it to be really bad, and it was really bad. They try to do like 3 or 4 different plot twists, and wow, they get worse every time, and they just don't work. I did not expect that level from Fantasy Island, but they tried, and wow, they really failed on that part. Yeah.
Wow.
Again, if it's on Netflix, I like sometimes when it's at night, I'm just like editing, and I just see like a bad horror movie like this or most things by Blumhouse. I go, I'll put this on. I think this is the same team that did Truth or Dare.
Oh god!
And I also watched that, and that was great. This is worse, I think, than Truth or Dare. I'm pretty confident saying
now,
that.
are you saying great as in like, it's like one of the...
Oh, no, it's bad. But
it was like a fun bad. Funny that it's... Like,
it was a fun bad, yeah.
Isn't that like... I'm not gonna... Never mind.
It was a fun bad. This was worse than Truth or Dare.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, actually, it's crazy.
Way to go.
In terms of shows, not too much. I finally finished Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, for those who are not in the know-how, in the anime community... like I am the aficionado of anime. Me. Demon Slayer is pretty much the big... Did it end this year or last year? I don't know. I don't remember. But either way, it was probably both because, when it's running, it's super popular. It was the biggest anime when it came out. Probably last year. And it's real good. Watching the first 3 episodes, I got similar vibes to watching the first 3 episodes of My Hero Academia, where I watched the first 3 episodes, and those 3 those 3 could be seen as a short anime series thing. It tells its own kind of complete story. First 4, because I forget. The first episode introduced you meet All Might. Second episode, he introduced he can be a hero. Third, I believe he works out to get the powers. 4, he gets into the school. And that's like a complete story, and it's really good.
It's like the prologue.
Yeah. And Demon Slayer does the same thing in its first like 3 or 4 episodes. And again, similar vibes to My Hero, where I went, wow, this is really like good. It's like moving forward in a really good pace. And the character's super likable. Like the concept and what's happening is interesting. The action is great. And like I think it does slow down after like the prologue of Demon Slayer, but it's still like really good.
Mm-hmm.
There's always like even with My Hero, people go like, oh, you like My Hero? Because like my friend explained it to me, like it's too popular, people like it, and you go, oh, you like My Hero because it's just like the hip new thing to like. It's like when Attack on Titan came out, and that for me that's kind of my thing. Like when people go, Attack on Titan is the best anime I've ever seen, and in my head I go, probably, and it's usually true. Like you probably haven't seen much
out of the
anime.
3. Yeah, out of the 3 they watched.
Yeah,
but I feel like that's a trend in anime watching.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's always like whatever the new one is. It's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
Oh, you like that anime?
Yeah,
about
so like
that hot
Demon
new
Slayer's
stuff.
the next one in that line. Like, always.
Wow, it is raining.
It is some heavy raining right now.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can pick that up, but it's just
it just like,
like
started pouring right now.
Yeah, someone is.
Yeah.
Dang.
But I remember when the anime awards happened maybe a week or 2 ago, and as of this recording, and I think it won anime of the year, and I think it won anime of like people voted, and it won like anime of the decade, and that ruffled some feathers, like just because again it's the new hit thing people are talking about. And I wouldn't say anime of the decade. There's a bunch of anime you could think of. But anime of the year, I probably would agree with that. Like, it's one of those things where I think it's really, really popular because it's, like, really, really good.
Which one is this?
Demon Slayer.
It won anime of the decade?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no, that's I don't agree with that, but it winning anime of the year, like, I would agree. I know that ruffled some feathers, too. Like, oh, yeah, of course it did because it's the new hit thing. But, like, Attack on Titan is something I look at and I go like, if you like it, that's cool, and to some degree I can understand the hype. But I'm like, it's good, but it's not something I want to watch again, really. But Demon Slayer, I think, is something that does. Well, it depends how much hype you hear about it, but I think it does live up to the hype. It's really good. It's really solid. Like I said, I got similar vibes to My Hero, and I finished the end, and I can't wait for the movie that's coming out, and the movie is continuing the canon story, which is like super rare. That really never happens. And I can't wait for season 2. God, yeah, it's really pouring.
Yeah, it is actually real loud.
Like out of nowhere. I mean,
Yeah.
they want to keep
I
going.
think you guys can hear that now.
Yeah, if you want to keep going,
No, let's keep going.
All right.
That's a little rain.
Special
We're
rain.
inside. We're fine.
That's a good point. Special rain episode.
Yeah.
Super rainy episode.
Yeah, no, Storm from the X-Men's going
But
real
yeah,
hard
so
out there.
I finished Demon Slayer, and it's really good. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
And this is something I watched like a while ago, but I kept forgetting to put it on here. But I needed to talk about it because I feel passionately about this. I watched The Magicians on Netflix. So,
Oh yeah.
growing up, I read a lot of fantasy, like kind of adventure stories. Like I didn't read Harry Potter, but I grew up with the movies. There's the Iron Number 4 series, which deals with like kids with powers and all that. I read Percy Jackson, it's kind of the same thing, like kids with powers and mystical stuff. Pretty much like if kids with powers, that, you know, that's a cool thing to me. Like if you can build a world around that, that's even cooler. Like Harry Potter, you know. And so sometimes I try to find things like that, like I could just like magic or powers, and if you have a world in there, some world building, that's cool, you know. And so I try to watch The Magicians. I watched it first maybe a few years ago. I watched part of the first episode, and man, was it bad. That first episode was trash. I don't think I finished it. The acting was not great. I did not like the main characters. The main characters specifically, like many main characters in these kind of books, either like the everyman or like kind of like an outcast, but it's because of their special thing, and then they come to enter this new world and become less of that. They definitely try to do that, but with this character, but he is an outcast, but also just like he's super dull and there's not like it's not that he's. A lot of characters are outcasts, but they're what do you call it? They're misunderstood. I don't think this guy's very misunderstood. I think he's very boring and just some of his reactions to things, like when people say like, "Oh, I'm going through this and this," he's like, "Oh, like."
Bummer.
Yeah, kind of like. He's just kind of a dull character, I really think. But I was like editing and I said, well, let me give this a shot again. But I was like, it's probably not going to be good. It's probably still going to be bad. But hey, if it's like bad enough or entertaining enough, I could just watch it while I edit. That's fine with me. And so, yeah, it still kept being bad in the next few episodes. With the magic, it's like, with the good, like, okay. With magic and things, you always... They do, like, hand motions and stuff, you know, to make things happen. In a good show or movie, you believe when they move or what they're doing, they create whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
A bad example is Avatar: The Last Airbender, where they're just, like, doing...
Movie.
Yeah, the movie, sorry.
Okay, I was about to...
Oh, actually, no, okay. That's animated, but in the show, like, when they do movements, you go, yeah, they're doing a movement to, like, do this thing, and that's cool. In the movie, they do a bunch of, like... I think they're trying to go for authentic martial art moves, but then they do bending with it. But you don't believe the move correlates to the bending they're doing at all, and it looks really bad.
Because the effects are trash.
Yes.
Yeah. Like one scene I'll never forget from that is like there's 4 guys who do like an earthbending thing.
Yep.
And there's one just barely the size of my chest boulder. Just flies on screen normally.
And 4 earthbenders in the show could move a tank.
Yeah, they could do whatever the frick they want to do.
But yeah, so like in movies you'll notice that, but again, it's like either like the effects or like just the moves themselves. A good movie or show will make you believe it. This show, I'm like, yeah, they're just like they'll just wave their hands and they'll have like whoever's working on the show, they'll just put the special effects and After Effects and just like put whatever in front of them.
Ooh.
So they'll just like wait, like go like I'm doing random motions and they'll just have like glyphs pop up or like air move and like.
So it's not like Doctor Strange where they got there's like that key motion.
Yeah,
like when he wants to open a portal.
That's another good example.
It's
like,
obvious.
When he does it, you believe.
Yeah,
it correlates to the movement or magic he's doing. Wow. In this, just like no, like I don't.
Generic hand movements.
Yeah.
When they create generic effects.
The most I believe. The only time I believed in it was when a character like they get their thumb and their index finger, they put them together, and they just do a swiping motion, and then that breaks someone's neck. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. They just go and someone's neck broke. Okay, that was simple, right? Every other motion's so like complex, and it's like it's garbage. It's trash. All right. Blake went really sad when I said it snapped someone's neck.
Well, because I thought I was like, because when I think about it, I was like, okay, this, and then like. Because, like, I mean, I don't know, you know. I mean, I've seen weirder, you know, but it's usually animated, is what I mean. Like when Frieza sticks out 2 fingers.
No, well, they had like
Krillin.
From what I remember, they had like a red energy that like also did a swipe.
Oh, okay.
From what I remember, that could be wrong.
It wasn't just like boop, and then like
no.
Okay.
No, they did a motion.
Okay, and then it had some form of effect.
Yeah, I think if I remember it right.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
And I think that's a good segue. This was a show I noticed, with even the first episode, I think. It just will randomly it'll be like a normal show, right? You can watch it on Channel 5 or whatever. And it'll randomly have the most violent action happen.
Yeah, I've heard this, actually.
It's really weird when shows do this.
Because I saw it, because I heard about it, and then I'll see trailers for it, I'm like, that doesn't look bad. And then I'll see the rating, I'm like, TVMA.
Yeah.
Why is this What the heck happened? I was like, why is this TVMA?
So, like, an example of a show that does this a little while. I don't like the show myself, but Dead Man in Wonderland, the first, like, super violent show I watched, because it was on Toonami, or, like, anime I watched, where it's just a super nice kids having fun in school, and then this guy shows up, and he kills the entire classroom, and there's a bunch of, like, decapitated bodies and stuff, and a lot of blood, and I was like, what? But that's to lead into, like, the main character who survives is thrown into this super violent world with a bunch of crazy people. And so it's not like it starts off happy and then it gets dark, and it's not like it goes happy, dark, right? It's super dark the rest of the time. Again, don't like the show, but it was clearly to go like, yo, I'm about to watch something crazy.
It's jarring to just be like, yo, screw you. You thought this was gonna be? You thought we gonna have fun?
Yeah.
No, we're not having fun today.
Yeah, this show it just chooses when it wants to be super violent and crazy.
How violent are we talking?
So like the first episode, just normal stuff happened. You know, just like, oh, this is the world of, I forget what it's called because it's dumb. And then the last like, oh, shoot, I forget. Like the last 2 minutes, this guy comes and then I don't know. Let's just say he blows the head of the main professor in the classroom.
What? Is it like visually disturbing?
I don't know if it's visually disturbing.
Is it like implied? Like, does it happen off screen, or is it like it just like shows some guy's head just like explode?
It doesn't explode. Again, I was just thinking something.
Well, okay. You're giving an example.
Yeah.
That
that's an
doesn't
example.
actually happen.
That's an example.
That's an example of like what it can do, but it's not what it actually did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess what did happen is, episode happens.
You mentioned neck snapping, so like.
Yeah, so that happened, but that was like quick, and that was whatever.
Yeah.
Episode
Superman
happens.
snaps.
Episode happens. Like the main like villain or whatever comes in. The dean of the school runs in because he detects this bad guy, and then he does a magic motion that doesn't make sense, and then he stops him, like he levitates him in the air. This happens off screen, but he then takes out his eyeballs, and then they show this. The main character like is frozen, like he can't turn and see what happens. But then the main villain goes to the main character's desk and then places the eyeballs on the desk. So that does happen.
What?
So that does happen.
Okay, so the villain takes the
eyes of
the dean.
Yes.
Puts them on the desk why does he put them on the desk?
Look
at your classroom.
I think the main character like summoned him on accident or whatever.
This sounds like the most like backwards show. It sounds like it has 2 writers, right?
But like,
it sounds like it has like one guy who's all like, "Yo, I want to make this show for like teens," and it like sounds like a Merlin thing, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, "Oh, we're gonna have some fun," you know? And then it's like, "No,
so
screw you. We're not here to have fun."
It's a cheap show, like it's on. I forget what it is. Yeah, it's on Sci-Fi. So it's a cheap show.
Sci-Fi's not known for their budget.
So they don't show a lot of it, but it's like the actions that happen are like sometimes they show stuff when they want to be real racy, but it's like. Normal things will happen, then oh my god, guy's head got exploded. Again, there's an example, but
it doesn't show it, but it's like
it just happens randomly. It's like what?
I don't like when shows do that.
There was, I think, the beginning of an episode, like the episode before. They're like, this is our plan to try to fight against the main villain. And then the next episode starts, and everyone's being murdered, and like the whole class being murdered. Like again, neck snaps. I forget what they do, but it was like a pretty violent scene. I was like, what the heck is happening? What is going on? Again, they don't show a lot of it, but it's still, the action's happening is pretty violent. And then it goes, oh, it was just a dream. Like, oh, what? These scenes are just added in for like shock value. And I would go like, whoa, like what? Like what the heck? It's because it goes from normal to a 10, you know?
0 to 100, like real quick.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah, sorry.
Got to know the
drill reference. And that's why, like, my mouth, like, I'd be like, what? I'd be shocked by what just happened because it happened so fast and randomly. That's
so like, that's dumb.
It is dumb.
I don't like that. I don't like it when shows do that. Or I don't like when movies do that either.
A small example is when in the first episode you have one of the main characters. Like she wasn't accepted to magic school, and so they're like, we're gonna delete your memory so you don't remember magic school. And I forget what she grabs. She grabs something sharp off of the table when the professor's like turned around, and I'm like, okay, whether they're gonna like prick themselves or just do a little scratch on their arm or something. They go from like people imagine to what is this called? What do you
I don't know, but I don't like wrists, bro.
Pretty much.
That's what you're talking.
like where your elbow starts, I guess.
Yeah.
But on what do you call this? Not your elbow, but what's on the opposite side of your elbow.
Talking like the weenus?
It's not the weenus.
No, it's on the other side. I'm sorry.
Okay, so
it's just the where your
so
arm
the end
meets
of
when the arm meets your forearm.
There you go. I was like, I don't know what biology.
Not the elbow on the other side of the elbow.
Where your arm meets your forearm. I don't actually. Where your arm meets your forearm, the end of your arm, forearm.
What happens? Just say what happens.
It's a super long cut along her wrist, like super long, longer than it has to be.
She does this?
Yes, herself.
What? Why?
To remember the school. But it doesn't make any sense, but it makes sense.
Just take the L. Like, I don't... Just accept
Well, I'm like, just like, stab your hand... Not stab your hand, but like do a little prick on your hand, or just like a little cut. She does a full-on cut on her wrist.
And the guy didn't notice?
Nope.
What?
No, he was turning around. He was looking for files behind him.
So, okay, but like, how do they erase the memory?
I don't know, magic.
So they just say, yeah, I'm going to erase your memory. Karen, get in here and do the process. I'm going to be turning around.
Kind of, actually, yeah.
That's... I've heard this show...
But she remembers, like, she looks at her wrist and is like, how did I get this cut? But you would think they'd never noticed she had a cut on her arm. They don't inspect the body for, like, notes or anything.
She passes out?
No, she doesn't. No, like, they make her fall asleep after they erase her memory and then place her back in her apartment or whatever. But then she looks at her wrist and she has a scar. But
I don't like this.
No, it's dumb.
Wait, hold on. How far are you into this show?
I finished season 1.
Okay, because I've heard this show is like people actually like it.
I know there's like 4 seasons of it.
That's what I mean. Like, does it get better?
Well, I'm getting there. Almost at the end of the season. Like I said, they try to get violent, but then they try to go, yo, no, we're cool and hip. We're throwing sex into the show. So
CW.
Yeah, they don't show it, but yeah, they try.
CW.
Yeah, but a little bit more because of what I'm about to say. So a character can teleport, right?
Yeah.
He accidentally teleports to a realm on accident, and he can't get back because he doesn't know how.
Okay.
And so, one of the characters goes, "I know someone who can help us with this. They know magic. I forget what the reason was, but they know type of magic that can help." And so they talk to the person, and they go, "Okay, how can we help our friend?" And he goes, "Oh, sex magic." That's right. I said sex magic. He is well versed in sex magic. And they go, okay, what does that... what do we have to do then? Well, what you have to do is you have to... And obviously they don't show any of these events happening. But he goes, you have to you have to do the spell while you both orgasm at the same time. So you have to orgasm at the same time and do the spell at the same time. And, we don't see what spell he had to do at all. So I'm kind of wondering, well, what kind of... how complex was this spell where he had to do all this? But, we're hip and cool. We got sex magic in this show. And they do the thing, and they help their friend. And I was like, this show is wow. This show is something else. You know what I mean? This show is something else, and Blake is giving me a look. You okay, Blake?
Okay, does it get better?
No, because what I'm about to get to. Okay, so you have... So that was like the second red flag. I was like, what is this show? Like, what? Okay. But then, the final nail in the coffin. The third strike. Which the rest of the stuff was just dumb. The next thing kind of offended me. It really offended me, actually. Okay. So you have one character. The girl who slashed her arm. Who didn't get into magic school. Her arc is about... She tries to learn magic on her own. And it's like... They treat magic as like an addiction. Like kind of like drugs or whatever. Stupid. And so she goes into rehab. And then she learns from this other guy. No, you've been learning magic this way. It's really... Like, magic is beautiful and it's great. Learn it this way. And she learns it by, like, praying to a god. And the god, like... I don't know. I forget exactly. But it shows her a different way of magic, right? And so she joins this little club / cult. I don't know. It's probably both. They try to summon the goddess that they try to get their power from, right? And they pretty much they're about to summon the goddess, and then like I think the episode ends, and then the next time the main character sees her, she's like, "Yo, like we met the goddess, and she was great. Like she healed this person's cancer. She like this person was blind, and she healed them, and they were great." And he's like, "Okay, cool." And but then at some point, like this god-like character is like, someone did something to her memories, to her head. That's odd. I can't really I don't know what happened, but something's off with that. Just like watch over your friend. That's kind of weird. And you go, uh-oh. Like I was like, oh, like something happened, right? And then another godlike character is able to restore her memories. And you find out what really happened. What really happened is they summon the goddess, and she's super chill at first. But then, again, super random act of violence. She goes, she's actually super evil. I think she snaps someone's neck, and they like do show this, like this whole sequence they show, like she snaps someone's neck. One of the first people, she takes their heart and then eats it, and they have a fake heart, and they have the actress eating a heart, and I'm like, this is the most violent thing that the show has done so far. And it's freaking crazy, and these people die like in crazy ways. I forget how for everyone, right? Like this is something. It's violent, dude. But then the main girl, right? The character we know, because like I guess the goddess or / god, whatever, liked her so much, he rapes her. The goddess / god rapes her. And that's why it's like someone else blocked off her memory so she wouldn't remember that, because it's very traumatic. And that was when I told the screen, I was like, screw you, show. That's horrible. That's freaking horrible. What? You just had this character raped? What? God, that's awful. And then, oh my god, I forgot about this. Okay. And this relates. What happens is, they're trying to defeat the main villain. He's super, super powerful. But then they go, okay, well, the only way someone can be powerful enough to defeat the main villain is to be infused with the essence of a god. And so, they talk to a god. And the god is like, you know what? I'm gonna help. After like this semi-decent scene, it's not good, but it's okay. The god is like, I got you, fam. I got you. He gives him a jar. Can you guess what's in the jar, Blake?
I don't even want to say the word, but I'm assuming I know what's in it.
It's his semen, Blake. I knew it. It's a jar full of semen. And the character. And something I probably didn't pick up because I was so blown away by this plot MacGuffin. They have a thing where it's like, oh, it's not the main character, it's this girl character, and she drinks it, and she's powerful enough to do it. I'm like, what? God, Jesus. Okay, sure, whatever. I was not on board, but I was like, I just want to finish this episode. I was editing at the same time. They go to try to defeat the villain. It doesn't work out. And it signifies that they have the god power by their eyes glowing, right? And so the character I said who was raped, right? Like, everyone's kind of beaten, and then this character, she shows up, and her eyes are green, and I'm like, what? Excuse me? And it cuts back to when she was raped, and afterwards, like, after the god spared her, because whatever, the god disappears, and she stands up, and after the effects, her eyes start to glow, and obviously she forgot because her memory was blocked. And so, what the show is pretty much saying is like, oh, she had the power to do this and save her friends because she got raped. She was able to save her friends and save the day because she got raped. It was a good thing. Isn't it so good this happened to this character? and they do a thing. Like, what happens with the characters, they don't like, oh, they save the day and everyone's great. Like, they strike a deal with the main villain and they disappear together, right? But it's still that she was able to save her friends pretty much and strike this deal because she had this superpower, because she was raped. And that's when I went, screw you, show. This is awful. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. This is terrible. This is actually offensive. I'm super offended. I was offended before, but now I'm like, this is actually, what do you call? Not offensive, but it is offensive, but counterproductive. I don't know. Like you shouldn't, I don't know. Whatever. It's offensive. It's very offensive.
I think that's beyond offensive.
And then, the icing on the cake. This episode ends and it's like, oh, what's gonna happen next season? And then it cuts to black, and then it gives you a message saying, hey, like, it gives you the rape hotline, like, hey, this is, like, if you've gone through this experience, something like this, you should talk about it because, like, you know, the generic message, and it goes, you should contact this hotline.
What?
Yep.
I'm
not joking.
That's...
They bring up a message with, like, either the number or, like, the website saying, go visit this. Yep. And that's when I was like, screw this show. This is one of the, if not the worst thing I've ever seen. This is awful. You can't just do that and then try to go, oh no, we're actually trying to advocate for this kind of thing. Like, oh no, we support victims of this. No, you can't use rape in the story in this way. That's not, this is awful. Screw the show. And I ended it.
I imagine that the intention, because like when you said that, I was like, okay, this is how I imagine, because you know, I got writer's brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
I imagine the writers sitting down being like, okay, well, I want to tell a story for rape victims, right? Now that's okay. You know, you want to do that. Maybe in the context of a, you know, what sounds like a fun fantasy idea, not a good idea, but you want to do that? Okay. It's like trying to tell a story about,
maybe not the place.
Yeah, maybe not a good idea. A little tone deaf, like significantly tone deaf. But okay, let's say you want to do that. I assume they were like, okay, this event happens to her, but she actually turns that event into her strength.
Yes.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Game of Thrones had a similar thing where it was, they're like,
Game of Thrones is messed up from the get-go, right?
No, but like, the character sounds like a bunch of terrible things happen to her, which one of them includes rape, but it's seen as, you know, it's a terrible thing. But in one of the last episodes of the last season, one of the characters go like you should have come with me at this certain point so that none of this bad stuff could happen to you. And she's like, no, like, I'm glad this stuff happened because it taught me about like the horrors of the world, and I grew as a stronger person, and I am the person I am now because of what happened to me, which threw people up. Like, so
Still weird, but okay.
The writer's saying
it's all good.
It's good she got raped because she
that's not
people again like arguing. I can see both things. Like, I don't know how to feel about it myself. Like, I think they were going. I genuinely think they were going for.
They don't know how to say it because they're dumb.
All the things, everything that happened to her throughout the show made her stronger.
Yes.
But that includes being raped, which doesn't work.
That's a backstory thing. Yeah. That is not an event that should happen in the story. Really,
no,
I don't.
Well, I see.
In my opinion, like, it's just like, don't, like, that's something that happened to them in their past. That should be the pushing, like, momentum that kind of ruins their life, and then they take the steps to there. So then you're like, oh, well, they did take a failure, and I saw them visually. I saw them take a pain that was plaguing them, and they went on from it. They moved on from it. They didn't say it was like, oh, it's all good. It's all good. Like, they never should be like, what happened to me was good.
Yeah.
What happened to me, but I moved on from it.
So we're like, Game of Thrones, I can see the argument for either side. I don't think they're going for... but yeah, so like that Game of Thrones is like one thing, but this is like a clear, like, no. It's what happens. It's what happens because of it, and then it's the final punch to your balls, which is, hey, go to this hotline or website and talk about it.
I don't.
And my first thought was, how did this get a season 2? Because I see that scene and I go, that's the most offensive thing I've ever seen. That is not excusable in any way, shape, or form. How did it get a season 2? Why did no one go, no, that was awful. We're not watching more of this.
So with that said, though, are you gonna watch?
No,
because see, that's the thing. Now you got me curious. Where I'm like, did they fix it to where now it's like, okay, well, people like it now, or did people just like not care at all about the first season? Did the people producing realize, yo, these people, they suck. They're awful. Get them out of here. Get some people who are actually good and talented and don't tell stories like that.
On pretty much all fronts, this show like isn't good. Like, there's nothing I would go, yo, I like that thing, or that thing's kind of cool. I'm like, no, this is a bad show. Like, the characters are kind of bad. The script, from obviously what I've said, is not good. The effects and the magic is not believable or good. But in this thing was the final nail in the coffin, where it's like everything else was just bad. Like, it was just like, I think, like you would say, like it was try hard. It was trying to be cooler than it is. But this was it was awful. Because and I even I was scrolling for stuff on Netflix that I do when I'm bored, just trying to find something I could watch while I edit. And I did scroll over to Magicians, and I went, I could, because it is something that's bad and I could just put on. But I went, no, like, that was awful in that last episode. I'm not watching more. I refuse.
Well, you got me curious as to if it's any good, if it's any better now.
Oh my god, Blake, don't.
I'm not going to watch it.
Don't.
I don't want to watch it. I might just look up.
No, people.
I'm
not asking you to try it out. It's awful.
I just want to look up, I'm just going to look up articles and just read what people think. I know it's skewed opinions, but I'm curious.
Multiple seasons, people. I don't know how it got past season 1. Mostly because of this thing they did.
I mean, some shows get 5 seasons and you're like, dude, how the heck did this show last this long? It's the dumbest thing. And it's just because, studios have money. So they're just like, I like this enough to where I think it deserves more money. So I shall give it more money.
But I just didn't mean to talk about this because, again, I was offended by this show. And I wanted to talk about it. I had to vent. I literally yelled, screw you, to the TV as it happened.
Wow.
It was so
I believe you.
Awful.
I believe you.
Alright, but I've also been playing games. I'm playing some games. So, before... Yeah, try to move on, people. Mm-hmm. It's awful. Please don't watch it. It's really. It's not even. It's just boring. It's not good. Last time I said I was playing some Katana Zero, and the part I got at, it was doing some weird stuff and kind of getting confusing. But wow, the game in that last hour or two, it all comes together and it makes everything make sense and made me go, whoa, I get it. That's cool. There are some things that are I still don't know what that is or means, but they're kind of setting up for Katana Zero 2, Katana 1, as I look into the camera that isn't here. But yeah, it really comes together in a way a lot of this makes sense now, and the narrative messes with you. Again, it comes back around and really hits you, and yeah, it's a really fun game, super fun mechanics, and again, with the way it wrapped up and finished, I want another Katana Zero game.
Mm-hmm. I hear the story is really mind-boggling, but I hear it's not nearly as mind-boggling as Hotline Miami. I heard that game brought up a lot.
I haven't played myself. So.
I haven't played it myself, but I've heard legends that game, both those games, the Hotline Miami 1 and 2 are what? My head, I've heard that the plot line gives people freaking headaches because it's so weird and whatever. But I've heard Katana Zero is it's somewhat ambiguous and kind of whoa, okay. But I heard it's not that crazy.
It definitely sets up a lot of mysteries, what does this mean? Who is this? But they answer some of that stuff, and a lot of it you go, I don't know what's who is this main character? What's his relationship with this? Does this mean this? But the way they answer stuff goes, oh, it makes sense now. Now I want to see. Now that I get it, I want to see it continued.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Very good game. Would recommend. And I played some Catherine full body, and I only played on one route. And Catherine, pretty good game. It's pretty good. I didn't love it, but I understand why it's like a cult classic. It is very interesting. Blake watched some of the streams. Vincent is a dumbass, and I know I talked about this before, but in every way, shape, or form, he is a dumbass. I thought he just made one mistake and just had to handle it. He makes multiple mistakes, and then he doesn't know how to crawl himself out of it. He just keeps saying, "Yo, I screwed up," but then he keeps doing it, and again, he doesn't go, "Hey, I screwed up. My bad. I'm trying to fix it." He just goes, I screwed up. What's going on? I don't know."
just like the puzzles he finds himself in.
True. I played on easy for the puzzles because I played normal for 5 minutes. And
when you started the stream, you played it on normal, and you're like, oh no.
I literally couldn't do it. I couldn't figure it out.
I couldn't do it either. I'm looking at the puzzles. I'm kind of like, what if I do that? And then John does it and it's wrong. I'm like, oh shoot.
Actually?
I was like, oh, because I'm just looking at it. I'm like, I wonder if John does that. But I didn't type any suggestions because I was like, maybe John will do it. And then you'll do it. And then it'll be like, oh, it's the wrong thing. I'm like,
yeah, okay. Well, I'm glad it wasn't just me.
No. No.
I knew, people talk about how it gets really hard, but I didn't expect the first level I couldn't do. So that's why I did on easy. And I could enjoy the story more. And I did feel satisfaction when I got those puzzles done super fast. But the way the story ends, I went on the Catherine with a K route because not only is Catherine with a K best girl, I also feel actually in terms of how Vincent's journey goes, it makes sense for him to end up with Catherine with a K.
Yeah.
Catherine with a C is him not caring about responsibilities or anything, just living carefree with his old the life he likes now. And then Catherine with a K is him owning up to his responsibilities and becoming a fully fledged adult and everything. Catherine with a Q, right? With a Q. Catherine with the Q, I was like,
Rin.
You're right, Rin, but it is Catherine with a Q. Rin.
I didn't even know you could spell Catherine with a Q.
It is Catherine with a Q.
No, I didn't know you could spell Catherine with a Q.
No, you can't. So, Rin's is it's in the middle where the theme of that is kind of Vincent. There's a lot of people expect certain things out of you, and they want you to be a certain way. Where Catherine with the C wants you to be fun and again carefree. Where Catherine wants you to have responsibilities, and Rin is just you don't gotta be any of that. You just gotta be you. You know what I mean? And I go, I think that's better than Catherine with the C's thing. But at the end of the day, it feels I get what they're going for. It makes sense. But it feels Vince is just kind of giving up on trying to be something else and just I'll just be me. And I don't know. I was I don't want that for Vincent myself. You know what I mean? And then I found out Rin's a that's fine.
You're just gonna drop that on the people who haven't played it yet?
Shit. I didn't think about that.
That was my thing. I was like, is he gonna talk about it? I was just gonna say that plays that what you just described about expectations plays into Rin's eventual reveal or eventual.
You're right. I probably should not have said that.
I'll cut that out.
Will you really?
If you want me to, I actually will. I mean, we can talk about that later. You can think about it. You're really thinking about it right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, you're actually looking off into space oh shit.
Well, I think because I was talking about the magicians and I didn't care about spoilers because it's so bad.
Well, nobody cares.
And so I just ran into with Catherine and just went,
I mean, the game is a little older, but Full Body is relatively new. But...
So cut that out.
I'll cut it out.
So stuff happens with Rin, which is interesting. And I was like, oh, that was a surprise. But I went... in this age we live in, I was like, all right, you know what? That's interesting. Sure. And I was like, well, I wasn't going to go with Rin's route anyways, because of what I just said was Vincent. I was like, interesting. Okay. I don't know how that would have affected, probably not. It probably would not have affected me at all, to be honest. But I was like, interesting, whatever. Rin was a cool character anyway, so what you find out about Rin later on, doesn't really change that. It was interesting. I think I can't talk about other things because it relates to it, so I won't. Yeah, let's just say Catherine has some problematic things in terms of how it represents people.
Oh yeah, are you talking? I'm not going to give specifics, but like, are you referring to a certain character's? Are you referring to the controversy about? Like, what's her name?
The waitress? It refers to a waitress's sexuality. And...
Yeah, okay, yeah, so we were talking about the same thing. Yeah, I heard about this. This is weird.
This is weird. Can I talk about this? I don't know.
I mean, if for anybody who doesn't want to know, skip ahead to whatever, just like a couple seconds ahead.
This isn't really plot related, but...
It is weird, because when I heard about it, I was like, I'm confused. And then I looked into it and I was like,
I was the same way.
Oh, that's kind of strange. Like,
I was the same way.
You can just go ahead and say it. It's fine.
There's a character named Erica, the waitress, who I think is the best character. She pretty much busts everyone's balls, pretty much.
Yes.
And is like, you guys are all idiots, especially you, Vincent. You dummy.
And she's wrong. I mean, she's right.
She's right. Yeah, she's right. And I'm like, cool. Erica's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you find out that Erica used to be Eric. Erica is transgender.
Mm-hmm.
And before there was controversy with Catherine, I never played the original, so I didn't know about that. And then I was like, is it just because, like, why? Like, what's up with that? So I looked it up around when I was playing Full Body. And there are some moments which are not good. Some stuff which is, like, teetering the line, which is, like, some people go, like, Erica would say something like, you're not going to take advice from a woman? And someone will say, well, if I saw one around. And I took that as, like...
Oh, it was a joke.
I thought it was a joke. Like, they're friends. And
making fun of how, like, tomboyish she
yeah, and again, that's, like, teetering the line. Like, it could be interpreted as, like, because Erica used to be a man.
Yeah. But is it... No, I don't know this, but do the characters know that?
The character... From what I understand... Most of them do,
okay.
But not one character.
Because from what I saw from your playthrough, they don't bring that up.
They don't.
Yeah, but and I'm not sure if that's like...
I believe no, because one character... So there's one character that tries to date her, and the other's like, I don't know, bro, that may not be a good idea, because they don't say it, but, like, you should like, be careful, and they're like...
Really? Okay, I didn't see that.
But then when... the character trying to date her they have sex, and then he finds out that Erica used to be a man. He's like, oh, no, I'm done with this relationship. Nope, and that's like more over the line. Like you could have had a better reaction, But then the thing that really,
if the guy's a douchebag, then it's like, okay, well that's in his character, but he's a douchebag, obviously.
The thing that is the thing, like, and that's not, you can't really defend that, like, and like the way it was explained by people who are transgender or, like, gay in the LGBTQ plus community have explained it. In the credits, they have Erica's, I forget what the official term is, but they have her old name, like her old name is like Eric something. And they officially named that character in the credits as Eric whatever. And then in parentheses, they put Erica whatever. And so what people took from that is that by not only putting that in the credits, by putting her old male name in, like, first, that's how the creators and everyone views that character. They view that character as a man, as her, like, old identity, and not as, like, a woman, as Erica.
Yeah.
They see that character as Eric, not Erica.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and that's why I was confused at first, but once it was, like, explained, I'm like,
Yeah.
So it's multiple,
weird, yeah.
It's multiple things piled on, which is kind of problematic.
Did you hear about the quote-unquote true ending?
No.
So
yeah, that was the other.
So I don't know if this is 100% true. I'm going off of old information that I vaguely I dipped my toes into research. Yeah. I didn't dig deep, but like from what I've been explained, this could be wrong. It sounds like the true ending implies that Eric never becomes Erica or something that.
I don't think it's a true ending. I think it's like a false reality.
That's the thing. I don't know, but like some people said, like no, that's the best ending because everybody's like gets what they. I don't know how. Someone said the words "true ending," and I'm like,
I see what you mean.
I don't
like
know.
Everybody gets what they want, and it's a perfect ending.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that's
Erica stays as a man.
And I heard that, and I was like, okay, that's weird. Because number one, it caught me off guard because I was all like, I didn't even know Erica was a previously a guy.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that. And so I was like, wow, that's weird. And then, I mean,
yeah, because like again, like your interpretation of certain scenes or lines like do change once you know that.
Yeah.
But it's like the creators know that from the get go.
They know it from the get go,
and they put those in. So that's why that's like a kind of a problematic. It is problematic. Mm-hmm. And like to what extent they changed it? Like I heard they had changed things. I don't know if that was with full body or if they changed it before, like in a patch or something. But I heard they attempted to change some lines.
Yeah, something like that. I heard something like that. People weren't very happy about it because like.
So I don't know to what extent those changes are in full body, but yeah.
What's weird is Atlas seems to have kind of a weird history with this, going with what's going on with 5 Royal. I don't want to get too into that, but like it's kind of weird. I don't know what's. I mean, obviously it's offending people.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how big a deal it is for just casual fans. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's weird.
It is weird, but like again, Rin is a great character, and again, like I said, Erica is my favorite character in the game because she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that doesn't.
It's still a good game.
Yeah, I try not to take away from those characters. It's just some problematic stuff that. Yeah.
It's weird stuff. Yeah. It's just like it doesn't ruin the game because the game is still fun.
Yeah, it's complicated. Yeah, for sure.
And again, like depending on your endings and stuff like that, you won't even like have to like.
Yeah.
You don't have to fight. You don't have to deal with the problematic endings or really other stuff like that. So I mean.
Yeah. So.
Still good.
Full body, interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
I've been playing some Tekken. Tekken's been pretty good. I've been playing mostly as Asuka because. You gotta really, for 3D fighters we talked about, you really gotta learn like one character and like what their moves are, and it's a lot. So I've been going with Asuka because she's cool. She's a cool, tough, punchy girl, which I tend to play as. I notice in fighting games. But also she apparently like she's pretty simple, nothing like too crazy. And it's fun. It is very fun. I've been practicing combos. Like the first time I tried to do some sample combos with Asuka, I could not do a single one. But I started playing with a fight stick on Tekken. It's easier because like certain buttons you have to hit really fast together, and that's way easier on a fight stick rather than a controller.
Yes.
So Tekken specifically, I do better as on a fighting stick.
Mm-hmm. That might be character specific, just to give you something, because I've heard some people switch characters. Like if some people switch characters, they'll switch from going from arcade stick to pad because they like that stuff. Yeah. So some characters, I mean, that might be character. I don't know a whole lot about Tekken.
Yeah.
But no, I'm glad.
But I do know like there are moves like you need to do it triangle and circle at the same exact time.
Like
or you need to do it rapid style, like not at the same time, but boom boom.
Yeah.
And that's way easier on a fight stick.
Yeah. No, for sure.
For certain buttons, obviously. Yeah. But about a day or two ago. Or I've been playing, a decent, like, kind of a decent amount. But I was trying to do the sample combos again a day or two ago, and I was actually doing pretty good. I was actually able to do the combos. I was trying to learn how to convert this into this, like what's the best way to do the damage for this move into this. And yeah, Tekken's really fun. I understand why people love it. We played some before, and it is fun. But like learning a character and how like to chain into different stuff.
Yeah.
The chaining into things, it feels like the flow is really good with that, and I do like that. Like, I like Soul Calibur, and maybe it's just because I'm bad, but Soul Calibur 6 at the very least is very like pokey, and you try to do a little damage or big damage depending on the move you're using. But it's like use a move or two, and that's for the most part it. Where Tekken is like you need to flow from this to this into this. It's like a whole chain you gotta do.
Yeah, Tekken is way more about big boy combos. Like, I mean, at top level, combos are doing like 70, 80. Or if you're Leroy, you're just killing them in one punish. God, I love Leroy. He's so cool. But, I mean, yeah, no, they're both emphasize movement because they take place in a 3D realm. But, like,
it's
obviously...
It's very different, like, the way I view a combo, like, in Dragon Ball. It's like, well, I do a light... It's like a medium, and then I do like a smash down to like a heavy.
Yeah.
Where this is like, well, to do this particular combo, you need to do square X circle, and that's this move.
Mm-hmm.
And now this move is triangle X square, and that's this particular move. You need to do it in this specific way to do one move like that, and that's really different, which is weird. Because it is cool.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to punish so many different things. Like, you know. Are they sidestepping? Are they backstepping? Are they jumping? Are they whatever? So, but I mean, Tekken is fun. Have you jumped online?
I have jumped online. It's been a mix. Sometimes it was funny because one of the first people, well, the first person I fought was really good, and I lost. That was before I got more practice in and got more comfortable. The second person I did beat. I was using this like. Yes. I was still using Asuka and all these, and I was doing this like mix-up move, where you think it's like a middle, but then it goes into a low at the very end, and that's like the best move I have because I didn't know at the time many moves. But I beat him, and he went, "Yo, you a bitch." I was like, "What?" It's like, "You're bad." I was like, it's like, "Oh, I'm bad because I won."
Is this over voice chat or is this
over normal chat? Like, he messaged me after.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he messaged me after.
Yo, dude, you should have scrub quoted.
Nah, I mean,
no,
I didn't think about it.
So that would have been great.
And so I'm like, I'm bad because I won? Question mark. It's like, well, I forget what exactly after it goes. Oh, you just spam mix-ups. And
you still have it saved, right?
Yeah.
Yo, you better scrub quotes that, dude.
I've heard spamming projectiles, spamming this certain move. Like I was like spamming mix-ups in Tekken. Spamming mix-ups is not how you open up your opponent. And if he said you kept spamming that one move, which helped me a lot, that's true.
Block it.
Yeah, it always ends in a low.
Yeah.
So just block the low and you win.
Yeah.
That's really
you know what? I know exactly what move you're talking about. Yeah, block it.
And it was just the phrase, you spamming mix-ups. I'm like, what? I forget what I said afterwards. I was just trying to rub it in more.
Yo, dude, that's great.
It was funny, dude.
How do you
spam
mix-ups? What do you mean block the low? Don't make excuses.
Funny, dude.
That's great, dude.
It was funny.
Man.
But most of my experience with Tekken has been like, well, I get my ass beat. Sometimes I get my ass beat, but then the next I play a rematch, and then I do some tough fighting. I do manage to win, and sometimes I win the third one, but I get my ass beat a lot in Tekken. But it is fun. A lot of it is like, right now, like Asuka, from what I hear, she's a more defensive character. Like, you get the opponent to open up, and then she's really good once you get the opponent open and you get the combos going, which is true from what I've seen with her sample combos. But for me now, it's like, how do I exactly open up my opponent with like my movement and everything, which I do struggle at. So I'm trying to get a little bit better at Tekken, but it is fun. I'm enjoying it a lot more, and I feel like kind of comfortable with Asuka. Like, online, I try out the combos and I can't do it either because of lag plus I'm bad. It's a bit of lag plus, like, I get kind of like not nervous, but I'm like, oh shit, I didn't do all right.
Yeah,
but it's fun.
Good. Wow. You know what? I have to say, out of all the fighting games you played, Tekken is the first one where you actually got salt quotes.
Yeah, I know. That's great.
Wow. That's actually, you know what? That's kind of impressive.
With Dragon Ball at some point, but it was something like, you're bad, and that was it.
Really?
But
I haven't even
the spamming mix-ups really got me. That was great.
Wow, I have to say that's really impressive.
Another fighting game, Under Night in Birth. I've only gotten 3 hours total of practice with Under Night. I've been looking forward to it. It always looked cool. I just never picked it up. But then Evo happened, and I watched some of that, and that game looked hype. It looked super fun. And I thought, okay, maybe I will get it. But then they announced a new version coming out next year, and I'm like, I have to wait. I will wait. And it's super fun. It feels like it does have similarities to Blaze Blue. It feels a bit less complex. Like, the movement feels less...
way more rapid.
Yeah.
It looks faster. It looks like
it feels more smooth, the movement overall. Like
yeah.
Blaze Blue, you really gotta like, especially some characters like feel really weird to move with.
Blaze Blue is like Street Fighter in my opinion, where Street Fighter is a little bit more like the combos get crazier than Street Fighter, obviously. But I think Blaze Blue is a little bit more grounded, where like you not a whole lot of footsies going on, but like there's like you're trying to kind of do the basic like throw projectiles, space them out.
I can see
boom,
that.
boom, and then you can do the crazy combo, right? But I think if I from what I've seen, Under Night kind of looks like it's Blaze Blue running at Dragon Ball speed.
I can see that. Yeah.
Or yeah. It's just going like significantly faster, and it's got some crazy wacky.
Yeah, like Blaze Blue, it definitely feels weird when you first pick it up.
Yes.
Like we both experienced that. This. It felt good from the get-go. Like, it felt really smooth and everything felt good. The impact of the moves feels great when you do things. The music is fantastic. The sprites are really, really good.
Yes.
The stages are... It's like an interesting art style.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It's like a very interesting art style.
There's a lot of characters I... Like, jumping into this game, there are so many characters I want to try out. The only experience I have with Under Night is with Blaze Blue Cross Tag. And with that, I mained Linné, and... Obviously, I want to play Nene in Under Night. Haida was super fun. Aurier was a character I wanted to get better as, but I just didn't have the time. Carmine, I don't like his personality or really his design. He's kind of weird, but he is really fun to play from the little I played him in Cross Tag, so I want to try him out in Under Night. There was this Wind girl I saw played in Evo, and she looked cool, and she is really fun to play. She does a Rasengan pretty much in one of her specials. So there's like a lot of characters I really want to try out all these characters, because a lot of them feel really unique and fun. And yeah, so I'm gonna get a little bit better at Under Night, hopefully. But hopefully, my boy Blake one day picks up some Under Night, and we can play together.
If it drops on sale at a point, sure, I'm not opposed to the game whatsoever. But from what I have seen, there's no character that's like hooking me.
You got your Waldstein, baby.
I do like Waldstein, but like I don't know, man. Waldstein is slow, but he's got big range, and I do like that. But does he have the power to back it up? I don't know.
Maybe we'll see.
But you can also tech out of his throw, which is bull crap. That's bull.
Yeah, you know.
But I don't know.
We don't know that. We could just be the one move they talked about. Yeah, maybe it's just so good.
Yeah, like, it might be just one of his throws. If it's just one of his throws, not a big deal. It's probably like the one that's the easiest to execute. Why? But
I mean, we'll obviously try it out and play it together at some point.
I'm also terrified of facing. I think his name is Byakuya.
Oh yeah, he looks terrifying.
Yo, what the heck? I've seen tournaments where that character is played. What the heck? That character just keeps you in the corner forever.
Yep.
What? It's like Majin Buu if Majin Buu can just put gum on the screen.
This finest game is hype, yo.
That's terrifying. Like, how do you beat that? You know? And I, from what I understand, I think that character is not even the best in the game. It's one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
But it's not the best in the game. I think one of the best in the game is the... Oh, shoot, I don't remember her name. It's not... Is it...
Hilda.
It is Hilda, isn't it?
Are you thinking about Hilda?
I think they call her Hild in this game.
No, I think you're right.
Which is weird, because Hild, Hilde, is a character in Soul Calibur 6, and that's pronounced Hilda. Which is freaking weird, because in Soul Calibur 4, I was like, no, that's Hild. Like, but no, it's Hilda.
Yep.
What? Okay, whatever.
Under Night, it feels super fun, so I want to try out more. And yeah, that's it for Under Night. Guys, just a few more games real quick.
Go for it.
I played some Vanquish. Vanquish came out remastered on the PS4 with Bayonetta 1. $40 total. I got it. I pre-ordered it, so I got that sweet looking steelbook. It looks great. But Vanquish, I played it on the PS3 back in high school, and it was like the coolest game I had played at that time. My first Platinum Games game, and replaying it felt so good. That game is crazy. There's so much happening all the time, but also the mechanics are super fun with the boost and the slowdown. And then it's kind of like Devil May Cry. It feels like Devil May Cry if it were a shooter, because there's like so much like customization.
What are you talking about? That's Devil May Cry 2.
Shut up. Damn it, that was good. That was really good. That was, fist bump play, that was good. But there's so much customization in how you can fight.
Yes.
And, like, it's something, like, you will learn how to, like, boost instead of slow down with, like, in a certain way, and it'll be just super cool. Like, you dash and do a kick, and then slow down to shoot 2 or 3 more enemies, and it's freaking rad, man. It's still one of the coolest games I've ever played, and it's been in my like top 10 games ever since I played it in high school, and I would still say it's probably still up there. That game is rad, man. You saw me play some. What'd you think? Or you played me play all of it?
I'm surprised a game like that exists.
Awesome.
I mean, shoot, I don't
Directed
know
by Shinji Mikami, people.
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard. Like, I've seen the cover, I've heard the title. But I don't know how, but I think at some point I always heard that it got lumped in with like all the kind of dumb, like edgy kind of shooters at the time, like Dark Void, which was like by Capcom.
I mean, it definitely got lost in the shuffle, but it's like
Command. Like, cause
doesn't
like
take itself seriously
at all. A lot of
all,
Japanese games,
love.
A lot of Japanese studios are trying to appeal to the Western market, so they're like, well, what are the kids like nowadays? Well, they like Call of Duty. They like their ops black, and they're like, "Oh, okay, well, let's try that."
If anything, it feels like a parody of like the action genre. Whether that was intentional or not, maybe not. Considering it's Shinji Mikami, and that's kind of his thing.
Yeah.
I think it makes it very enjoyable because you go, "Yeah, this is just dumb fun." Yeah, it's freaking great.
But I mean, the way it looks like it plays, it looks like it's a high octane shooter. Like probably the most high octane shooter I've ever seen. Maybe only second to Doom 2016. Because that game, I mean, that game, but it's different. Because,
it is different, but I see what you mean.
Like, one's a first-person shooter where you're kind of doing some weird pseudo-platforming in that game at times. Because, like, the levels are constructed high, low, up and down. You're just jumping around shooting demons. But this game is more like, you just gotta race around, not get hit and shoot stuff. Like, so it's, like, a little different.
In Vanquish, you constantly have to boost and slow down because you can't do it otherwise because it's too fast. And it's my favorite shooter, like easily my favorite third-person shooter because it's so fun. And I was upset when I got it on PS3 because I got it used and they gave me the black case, and I was thinking the case is so cool with the cover and everything. They gave me this garbage black case, but now I got that sweet steelbook, so it's okay.
What about the other game on the collection?
What other game? Oh, Bayonetta? Worst Bayonetta 2? Yeah, I said it. I might play it at some point. I wasn't a huge fan of Bayonetta 1 I played a few hours, maybe like 2 or 3. Just the aesthetic and everything I wasn't a huge fan of. And the presentation, I don't know. It didn't hit me.
Are Bayonetta 1 and 2 that different?
Bayonetta 1's very like dark and brown looking.
Really?
Bayonetta 2 is very colorful. That's just aesthetic wise, obviously, but for me it makes a big difference. I don't know.
Wow, I didn't know.
I think even the way the games open up, like 2 feels like, whoa, I just jumped into a crazy action game. Where 1, I was like, okay, I'm feeling it. Okay. But I should try out Bayonetta 1 some more, but I think it's just dope. And now I played 2 Resident Evil games. 1 I finished, 1 I still have to finish. I played Code Veronica. It's kind of love or hate with that game, I've noticed online. And I thought it was good. I don't love it or hate it, really. I liked it. It was good. There's some things I really liked. Like, oh god, it sounds like I don't like it now that I think it.
Well, I think you're still really mixed about it. Because, like, you like it, but you also, I think when you finished that game, you said it was better than... Was it 0? Or
I wasn't sure if it was better than RE0. Like, I think Code Veronica is more interesting than RE0. I think it has better highs and lows, probably. In terms of RE0? Maybe I'm making that up. I don't know.
From what I saw from the gameplay, maybe this is completely wrong because I'm not familiar with either of them. But it looked like sometimes I could have like squinted my eyes and I could have sworn you were playing a Silent Hill game. Because it looks like you were fighting some crazy monsters. Like it wasn't just zombies. Like the part with the freaking arms.
I don't play Silent Hill.
I don't either. So it's like, but like I've seen people play some Silent Hill, and a lot of that game is like avoidance and then going in with a knife. So maybe it was just like the way that like they wanted you to play. Because you told me the knife's OP in that game.
the knife. There's a knife tech in that game where it's freaking broken. Pretty much, people, what you do is you get your knife, you aim downwards, and you pretty much wait till like you get to the point where you hit the knife at the zombie's like knee up, and for some reason it does a ton of damage. Where if you do it right, the zombie will fall over, and then you just slash, and you can kind of hear the knife hit multiple times as you slash at the zombie down on the ground. But yeah, it does like crazy damage where you knock down the zombie and then you just hit it down. And they're like, I know that's for like almost every RE game, but like knife runs, I think it's like the easiest game to do a knife run in. Yeah. Because the knife is so OP, you can just rely on it the entire time. Which I ended the game with like over 300, 400 bullets in my pistol.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, did you? I thought you entered a cheat code to get like maximum ammo. I was like, oh my god, why do you have so much ammo?
At some point, I had like over 400 bullets.
Yeah, that's not a survival horror anymore. That's a shooter.
It's because I was using my knife, and I went, well, I could shoot, or I could use my knife. And yeah, that was crazy. That was fun. The knife.
I was shocked to see that there was actually a game where Claire finds Chris.
Yeah.
Kind of, even though Chris finds Claire.
Yeah, I know.
But like, I literally went through this whole series with you, and I was like, man, is Claire ever going to find her goddamn brother? And then I was like, oh my god.
They do, kind
They're siblings. Yeah. It's like, they know each other. Like, they've met, you know?
Like, Code Veronica, I think, like, the setting isn't super, like, interesting, personally, I think. I think it has its moments, like, when you go to the Ashford Mansion. That sounds kind of bad. But some parts I'm like, this is kind of cool, but it's not like the best RE setting by a mile. I think Claire is cool. Like, Claire's a cool protagonist. Steve is, I see what they were going with Steve. Steve's really annoying. Yeah.
He's annoying all the way through, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he gets better. He's like,
like they have a thing where,
come on, what are you doing, Claire?
Oh my, that's a really good impression.
Well, because like the part on the bridge where she's like, well, there's like a giant
sorry,
monster.
You're a girl. I can't do it. I can't do it. You're a girl.
Yeah. Isn't there a movie of this version?
No.
Is there not?
No.
Why is there a weird CGI scene of
that you're thinking about Dark Side Chronicles, which we haven't. Well, we see that in the future, people.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right? Where what's his face is staring at Claire's butt while she's on
at her ass. Yeah.
Is that in the game? Because I looked at that.
That's Dark Side Chronicles.
Okay.
Yeah. We will get there.
But... That's in Dark Side Chronicles. Really? Oh wow.
But they went with something about like Steve couldn't trust his dad because he died, I guess, or he was a bad dad. I don't know. Steve was annoying. It was whatever. The boss fights were god awful. Most of them were really bad. Mm-hmm. I remember for some of them, 3 in particular, like the tyrant fights, they're really hard, but like it's not even like you need to learn their patterns. They're just like really annoying and they're sponges, which is a lot of RE games. Yeah. Most RE games don't have great bosses. You know, that's just a thing.
Yeah, we discussed
with RE. But these, I think, are the worst I've played. Like, most of them, I just went, oh, that was just kind of lame or not that smart. This, I went, oh, this is just annoying and hard, but I just have to shoot it a lot.
I'm talking about the last boss specifically. Right?
3 in particular. There's the Tyrant on the plane, which
I
don't know if you're there for. There's the Poison Tyrants.
Which is the one with the big hands on the...
Yeah.
The one that knocks you off the cliff or grabs you and throws you off the cliff.
And then there is the final boss.
Yeah, that was bullcrap.
Just lock stuns you, and I tried to shoot the things that lock stun you on the ground, and you can't shoot them. Maybe I could have knifed them, I don't know, but I couldn't shoot them, which is annoying. But I remember looking up for some of the bosses, especially the final boss. I thought, is there a way to do this well? And for a lot of the bosses, like I looked up some speedruns, to try to help me guide me through the game. It's just, make sure you have grenades and or fire arrows for this boss. And yeah, that's how you beat the boss. Like Alexia Ashford, I just shot her with 3 grenades in like 5 seconds and she died. All right. And
you know what that is though? That's reminiscent of Resident Evil 1. Because remember when we were first playing that game and like you had to restart because you got the acid grenades before you got the shotgun.
Did that happen?
Yeah. So in RE1, there's a part where I think it's different in the remake as opposed to it is in the original, maybe. But I know that if you go into the room with the shotgun that's on the wall, you take the shotgun, right? and if you go into the next room, that's where the ceiling starts to crawl on you. If you get the acid grenades from Barry before you do that, Barry will not come in and save you, and you don't get to get the shotgun early. Right? You get the broken shotgun. You have to go downstairs, get the broken shotgun, replace it with the real shotgun, so that the room is... So it's just like, it seems like it's a manner of order of things, and that's why usually I feel like if I'm going to play an RE game, I'm going to have a guide with me the whole time.
I feel like RE1, like, I do agree with you, but that was more like, to progress to, like, the mansion and the puzzles, you have to do it a certain way, which makes sense.
Yeah.
The boss was like, oh, well, you need grenades on hand and never use your grenades until you get to this boss.
Yeah.
Or you get these fire arrows, never use them until you get to the boss to use it. Where I saw a comment, it was kind of true, where one person was asking, how do you do this? And they said, you need grenades or fire arrows? And they said, oh, like, okay, I thought there's, like, I was looking for another way. Like, these bosses are really bad. Like, they're just not fun. And, like, a guy goes, well, you just need to be prepared. Like, that's how you beat the boss. You gotta be prepared. Like, it's not the game, it's you. And he goes, well, I mean, when you look online and everybody asks, what's the best way to beat this boss? And everybody says, you need grenades and or fire arrows for every single answer. Yeah, your bosses aren't that great. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, RE1 had super lame bosses, but it wasn't like, no, like...
Well, yeah, like, if you're... Tough luck, kid, if you don't have the freaking whatever it is. Like, that's what I mean, though. Like, that's almost like a... That's what I mean when I say it's kind of like RE1. It's like that moment in RE1 amplified into a whole game where it's like, well, if you don't have this, it's just... You just made the fight a whole lot harder. Sorry, you shouldn't have used your... That's dumb. Yeah, like, to me, that's bullcrap.
I fought a boss for an hour and a half, I would say.
He did, actually. That's like... And I was like... Okay, this might sound bad, but I came home and I was exhausted, right? I just hadn't had much sleep. I turned on your stream. I remember typing some stuff, right? Took a nap, woke up. You were still on the boss. And I was like... That's
hilarious.
I was actually like, what the heck?
That's amazing.
Like, I thought I didn't sleep for very long. And then I looked, a whole hour. I was like, oh my God! I was like, oh my God.
Bro, that's amazing.
What happened? Like,
that's amazing, actually.
No, because I was so shocked. I was like, this boss sucks. And then I saw, like, what you were dealing with. I'm like, yo, this boss sucks, right? Like, I'm like, dude, what
the poison tyrant, it has super long arms that will swipe you off with the helipad. So, like, in one hit, if you're not careful where you are, you'll just fall off. When Claire also falls, she does a little slide. And the slide a lot of times, which just knocked me barely enough off. He has a move where he grabs you. Apparently, if he grabs you from behind, he just kills you. But if he grabs you from the front, he will throw you behind him, which will usually cause him to throw you off the helipad. He has poison, so you can't really snipe very well because he'll throw the poison and you get hit.
Yeah, you can't snipe him at all.
You can't snipe because there's a big fog.
Which is bullcrap.
So it's like you can't snipe him from super far away, from a safe distance because of the fog. But once he gets close enough where you can barely see him, he throws the poison, which is in perfect range to hit you, and which will put you usually in stun where you can't aim down the scope.
Yeah,
and all those things were terrible, and so I used my knife to try to help me, and that knife really helped me.
Mm-hmm. I think from what I mean, it's completely up to you, but it sounds like Darkside Chronicles is like still a good RE game, just with some very
Code Veronica.
Oh, Code Veronica. What did I say?
You said Darkside Chronicles. You're okay.
That's a freaking rail shooter. I'm sorry.
You're good.
That's a great RE game.
Yeah.
Survival horror to the max. No, but it sounds like Code Veronica is very it's still a good RE game. It just has some very poor decisions in terms of design.
I would agree with that.
But it's still solid enough, right?
I would agree with that.
It's not something like, I don't know, which one is the worst right now that you were saying?
RE6.
Dang, wow.
RE6 is just a bad game.
A lot of people don't like that game.
Yeah. Code Veronica, it has a bunch of dumb shit in it.
You don't like zombie dinosaurs?
Just no.
I didn't believe you when you told me that, and then
I know you didn't. I know you didn't.
Wow, that's real.
No, I was hyped. I was hyped when that boss came back because I went, Blake didn't see this before. I'm gonna say it's a zombie dinosaur because that's what it is, and he won't believe me, but that's what it is.
I still think it's interesting that Ada fights the tiger zombie guy who also has a turret.
Yes.
And it's not even like a gun turret. It's like part of his body.
Yeah, he shoots Leon with it, and it's just fine. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, Leon actually gets shot by that, and he's like, oh, I guess he just didn't
get ow.
Yeah, I guess he just didn't get shot. But whatever.
Yeah. Code Veronica, Blake said it very well. It's a game I enjoy, but it is very flawed.
Yeah.
I was thinking about my ranking, whether it's below or above RE0. I had a thing in my head about RE0. Oh, the thing about RE0, I like Code Veronica. I do like the villains, the Ashfurs. They're super cheesy, but they're great.
Yeah.
Super cheesy but fun. Wesker, same thing, cheesy but fun. RE0 has a worse final or main villain, Spencer, who is boring, just a slug man. It's like slugs. That's the thing we're going for here. I know like every RE game has a mansion section, but RE0 it feels like the most blatant. Like, oh, it's just a mansion. It's right next to the main mansion. It's like okay, but so like in terms of like story stuff, I think Code Veronica is more interesting. Like kind of setting like the story itself a little bit. Like Claire, I like better than Rebecca. So I was thinking, I think Code Veronica, the stuff I don't like the bosses, I really don't like.
Yeah.
But I found more things interesting in it, I think, than RE0.
I mean, once you finish 7, I expect a tier list.
Yeah. Well, I have one made out so far with my initial thoughts, but
I
will say
this at the end. Full YouTube video on this topic.
All right, then I will do it.
Okay.
I'll do it for you, buddy.
I want.
Yeah. So
I mean, I already know what's at the top and what's at the bottom, but what comes after that is interesting.
The next, real quick, is RE7. I started playing a bit of it. I've only played like a few hours. I think I'm about like a 4th or a 5th through the game, and it's interesting. Maybe this happens later. Maybe it's because I put up the brightness for the stream, but it's not that scary. I thought it'd be more scary. Like, it is scary, but I thought it'd be more, you know what I mean? Just the way people hype it up. Like, the beginning is super scary and atmospheric before you see anybody, but then, like, once you start fighting the family and going through, it feels like a more traditional RE game, just, like, in first person, you know? Like, I was expecting more like a horror game, but it feels kind of like an RE game in a different setting, but in first person. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it's definitely this. It definitely feels like Resident Evil, which I think is interesting.
Like I guess that's my thing. Like the way people, I guess, talk about it, they say like it really doesn't feel like an RE game. Like it feels more like an RE game than I thought it would be. You know?
I imagine people who say that, though, most likely came from things like Outlast or PT and stuff like that. Things that like are generally first-person horror games. Mm-hmm. But I think that it's still, like, you know, the inventory system, the way you kind of navigate through puzzles, the way you're still looking for stuff. I think that the way enemies pursue you, like the hillbillies or whatever.
That's true.
The immortal hillbillies. The way that they kind of pursue you is very... weirdly, it's reminiscent of frickin' Nemesis, not Nemesis. Mr. X.
I was thinking that.
I think that's where they got it from. I think they were like, wouldn't it be cool if Mr. X or like Nemesis could like do this throughout the level? And they're like, yo, let's remake RE2.
Yeah, I think maybe part of it is because I played RE2 remake before this, where like it's less of. I played some of Outlast. Yeah. It's less of like, oh my god, like. Where is everybody? Like, they could be anywhere. They're going to scare me. Yeah. It's like, no, I have to progress through this level or this portion of the house and find this stuff while dealing with everything else. Yeah. Like RE2.
It's not scary. It's tense.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, shoot. I don't want that to... Like, when you hear Mr. X's footsteps, like, oh, shoot, oh, shoot, oh, shoot. Like, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
I would agree.
It's the same thing with them when they're like, I found you. I'm okay. You know,
yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. It's so like
100%.
Yeah, so I think I don't know if scary is the right word. I don't know if RE's ever really been scary. I think it's always been more tense than like horror, but I don't know.
I would agree. RE2 freaked me out the first time I
played. Well, see, I don't know. But RE2 is like where I think they balanced out.
Yeah.
How, but I don't know, man. Resident Evil is such an interesting franchise because it is scary, but I feel like it's more tense than scary a lot of the time.
Yeah, that is the more survival horror. Because they put you in unfair situations. It's not pure horror.
Yeah.
It's survival horror where it's a tense, like you said, situation, setting. And you got to deal with everything.
Because they emphasize the survival aspect so much.
Yeah, kind of less, for like, not necessarily RE7, but less of, we're going to scare you, but there's enemies and things you got to deal with, which are considered scary. but you also have to deal with your management and surviving.
Yes.
But yeah, RE7 is pretty good. I am enjoying it. I can't wait to play more.
So when you're done and we get RE3 remake, I expect a tier list.
Shit, had to make a video, a whole video.
Yeah. What have you been building to? What do you mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, does that mean we have to finish?
To make money.
Does that mean we have to play Umbrella Chronicles before that?
That's not a RE game. That's a freaking.
That's an
RE. It's a planned time crisis. It's the same thing.
But did you know it has the Red Queen? And Umbrella Chronicles has the Red Queen, which was something introduced in the RE movies.
Oh, I thought it was RE0.
Was the Red Queen? Was that in RE0?
Maybe not. I know there's some queen in as the final boss in RE0.
That might have been.
It's a giant bug or something.
The Red Queen's like an AI thing, and it tells you the story of Resident Evil. But because the Red Queen was an AI in the live action movies, so that was the thing they directly took from the movies, which is weird. But yeah, we are very far into this podcast, and I just got into my things. It was quite a while between our previous podcasts.
Yes,
so I had a lot to talk about.
Well, let's just talk about Sonic. I want to talk about.
So I apologize. No, what have you been reading and watching?
What have I been? I haven't been watching anything. I don't watch anything much anymore, just because I don't know what it is. I think all my classes in film stuff have just completely ruined how I watch things, right? My brother and my father and you, I guess now, you guys can sit down and watch something while you're working on it and still absorb the information. I literally I can't do it, right? If I turn on a movie, even if I've seen it 1,000 times, you know what? I'll be like, you know what, man? I want to edit, but I want to, I want something in the background because I don't like editing in silence for some reason.
It's kind of boring.
Just turn on Toy Story or something like that, right? Yeah, I got Disney Plus. Turn on Toy Story, right? I'll start up Toy Story and I'll be like, and then, I'll start and then the theme song will be playing and I'll be looking up and I'll be like, oh shoot, I never noticed.
No, I get you. It happens.
And then I'll be like,
yeah.
I'm just going to sit here and watch Toy Story. Forget it. And then I don't know, man, because my film stuff just taught me yo, when you watch something, you got to really watch something. And so now, every time I watch a movie I've seen before, even if I've seen it 1,000 times, I'm like, I didn't notice that. That's great, right? Specifically animated. Spider-Verse and Toy Story being the main stuff with that. But so I haven't been watching much because when I watch something, I literally just have to sit down and absorb all of it. But as for games, same thing. I really have not been playing a ton of stuff. I've mostly been buying a ton of stuff that I hope to get to someday.
No.
I recently just bought the Sega Genesis Mini or Classic or whatever, the little mini console that I have.
Oh, sure.
So I was like, you know what, man? There's no I've seen the Genesis collection go on sale on Switch, and I'm like, that's cool, but I also feel I kind of want some of the other stuff. And I was like, this is cool. I get a whole console and I can, mess around with that. And let me just do that. So I did that. I bought it and it has some great games. I've played Streets of Rage 2, which is beautiful, beautiful game. I haven't played everything. I played a little bit of a game called Gunstar Heroes. Holy crap. That game is... I did not think you could run a game that fast on the Genesis because, oh my god. It's a game... It is a 2D shooter developed by the guys who made Ikaruga. I believe. I think it's Treasure.
Alright.
It's 2 players, so we're going to play it one day.
Oh god.
But holy crap. It is so fast. It's at blazing speeds. I'm like, oh my god. It's crazy, right? But yeah, so there's a ton of games on there that I want to play. I actually played Street Fighter 2 on there. I tried it out where you only have... So on the controllers, just to give you some context here, back in the day on the Sega Genesis, Street Fighter has 6 attack buttons, right?
Yes. It's dumb.
The Sega Genesis controller only has 3 buttons.
What?
So...
You have to hold it or something?
To select between your punches and your kicks... You press start.
What?
When you press...
In the middle of your fight?
In the middle of your fight.
What?
If you press...
What is this garbage?
You press start.
What is this trash?
In the middle of whatever you're...
That's awful.
So So like you can spam Madokins, right? But then if they get close to you and you want to go into like kicks and Tatsus and whatever, you have to hit start and then you can do it. And then you have to switch back.
What a garbage game.
It's hard. It's real hard. Specifically. There is a Genesis port of Virtua Fighter.
Oh god. And?
No, it's not a 3D fighter. It's back to 2D.
Okay.
But wow. I think that's all I have to say. It's not horrible. It's just like I like Virtua Fighter because
this is why the Genesis was bad, people. That's all I'm saying.
Whoa. The Genesis.
What was its competition, Blake?
The Super Nintendo?
Which one was better?
Which it outsold?
Which one was better, though?
The Sega Genesis outsold the Super Nintendo, I believe.
But which one was better? What was the better console?
Some people would argue the Sega Genesis. Dude, Sonic 2, Streets of Rage 2, freaking Phantasy Stars, some of the greatest RPGs of all time. You had Mortal Kombat on there with the blood effects. Yeah,
you also had Street Fighter where you had to hit the start button.
Yeah, you had Street Fighter you had what did you have?
Most people would only say Sonic 2. Most people
or Sonic 3 and Knuckles, any of the Sonic games.
Oh, okay.
You have Mean Bean Machine, which is just Puyo Puyo.
As a man who had a Super Nintendo back in the day, I'm just saying, the rivalry was fierce.
It was. Don't be lying to me, though.
What?
I said, don't be lying to me, though. You're sitting here saying, like, whoa, that's what else.
Oh, no, then you're going to call me out. I never had a Super Nintendo.
I know you didn't.
I
was like, I'll just let you have your
No, I don't care about this rivalry at all. I'm trying to...
It's an old rivalry. It doesn't exist now.
To me, I'm trying to bring it back. I'm trying to stir up conversation. But really, I'm trying to create fights.
I'm just trying to say Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Not anymore.
I was about to say, how did that work out for them?
Well, they are now making Sonic and the Olympic Games
without Mario.
Mario unfortunately died at the last Olympics.
But sorry to interrupt. How is Sega Genesis overall?
It's cool.
Yeah,
it was $60, and I was like, dang, that's a good price for 42 games. It's like, dang, that's price of a full price new game for 42 games, I don't know how good all of them are going to be, but I definitely want to try Phantasy Star because I hear Phantasy Star 4 is really good. It's an OG RPG. I'm like, you know what? I like OG RPGs, except when they're trash.
I was like, do you?
I see, like, that's the thing.
You don't play a lot of them.
See, this is the weird thing. I play a lot of RPGs, like, I try a lot of them.
Yeah, you don't like them, though. You don't like them.
Because I want to get good at it. I want to like them. So, like, I'll play a lot of them and be like, okay, I like this, I'll buy an RPG just to try and have some fun.
I remember many conversations where, I tried out this old RPG. I didn't like it.
Well, yeah, no, Breath of Fire is weird, but, I mean, that's an old exception. That's the only exception I can think of. But yeah, so, I mean, Genesis is really cool. I'm excited to get more into it as I go forward. I'm going to keep playing more of it. But other than that, I've just been playing Smash Brothers and Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball in preparation for Season 3. We are, 3 days away from Season 3's updates with the UI and the assists and all the wacky stuff.
Very excited. Can I say I don't like the new UI for the character select?
I love it. I think it looks way better than that. I never liked how the portraits curved.
No, I liked how the portraits curved.
I did not like the way
to me, it looks like I would see someone, on a fan fighting game, online, I would, type in, I think even, there's, Smash, I forget what it's called. But
Super Smash Flash.
Yeah, it looks like that kind of character screen.
Really?
And that's a fan made online thing. That looks like this to me. I don't like it very much.
I disagree, but I mean, I guess I can understand where you're coming from.
I feel like if I typed in Dragon Ball fighting game, I would get that character select.
Well, you'd get that one game. I don't know what it's called, but I hear that game is actually pretty bomb.
Yeah.
But so I've just been playing that, and I have to say, never have I played a fighting game that I love so much and yet hate so much.
Interesting.
I hate Dragon Ball Fighters, but I love it, and I don't know why that is.
It's a fun game.
It is fun, but it's bullcrap, right?
You're not wrong.
I don't know, man. Every time something weird happens, I will save my replay. And I'll be
not wrong. Yeah.
I will own that I make a lot of mistakes, right? I'll cross up myself because I'll be like, I'm going to dash over him, but I'm not going to dash over him. I'm going to dash right in front of him.
Yeah.
I dashed over him, and I'm holding the wrong way, and I'm not blocking anymore. I'm dumb. So I'll make mistakes, right? But there are some times where I'm like, I swear to God, What happened there? Like last night, I was like, some guy did down heavy on me, but I was in shield, right? And then I'm like, he's gonna homing dash right after, so I am mashing down heavy, right? So what happens? I get hit by the homing dash on an anti-air move that is supposed to be invincible to aerial attacks, which is a homing dash.
Just get good, homie.
Why did I get hit though?
I don't have an answer for that.
See what I mean? Like, I love Dragon Ball FighterZ because it's just so fun. Like, there's something about it where even though I'm pissed, I'm like, all right.
It's just fun.
Like, I'll just be like, I hate this game. It sucks. And, I found a new match. Like, that's just how it is. I don't know why. But I like that game. It's good. It's fun.
I am also looking forward to season 2.
Season 3.
What? Shit, you're right.
Season 2.
Sorry. Because I've been thinking, this is
Season
like
2's
Dragon Ball FighterZ too. Pretty much.
GT Goku. Oh my god.
I'm looking forward to season 3. I stepped away from the game for a while just because I played like so much of it. I stepped away from it. But they put in Kefla, which is like kind of the number one character I wanted from day one. Because Kefla's great, and they finally put her in. And she looks fun, so I can't wait to play her. They put Ultra Instinct Goku, which it is another Goku, but it's actual Ultra Instinct. The thing is, I don't mind any of the Gokus on their own, but it is like, there are a lot of Gokus, you know what I mean?
There's one that I mind.
Goku Blue?
No, but Blue's fine. Blue's fine, Base is fine.
GT Goku. You complain about Blue all the time.
I hate Blue's overhead because like it always mixes me up because I can't tell if he's going to go for the low medium, right? Or if he's going to finish the auto combo and hit me with the overhead.
I do like doing that
with the overhead leg. Fun. It's annoying. But that's fine. Other than that, Blue's like, okay, he's manageable. And he's actually pretty fun. GT Goku, never... Oh my god, the bane of my existence. I know you haven't played the game in a while. Sir, have you ever been hit by a Spirit Bomb level 3, right? Because he can combo into it, right? So you take a lot of damage from that Spirit Bomb.
Yes.
But you killed his whole team, right? Do you know what he gets to do? He gets to hit you with a powered up level 1 right after. And it's unscaled.
Wow, that's pretty good.
I hate you. Shut your mouth. It is really pretty good. It's the reason he's the best character in the goddamn game.
That's amazing. Wow.
Freaking hate GT Goku.
But he's super fun to watch, though, so I'm okay.
I disagree. I think that any other character is more fun to watch. I'd rather watch a freaking Ginyu player
when I see
than
GT Goku. A GT Goku player, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I wish I could do that.
Oh, so you watch? Dope. So you? Oh, did you? I don't think you saw the World Series, right?
I saw Evo. That's all I saw.
Oh, okay. So you didn't watch the... I don't know what it was called. It was like the World Championship or something like that? The Dragon Ball FighterZ?
No, because I forgot.
Everyone. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah, of course.
Every single one of those players had GT Goku.
Yeah, of course they did.
I hate it.
It's like when Bardock was in the beginning, you know?
Not everybody had Bardock.
Did
Sound Effects have Bardock?
I'm pretty sure.
I know Goichi had... Well, Goichi's never going to drop Bardock.
Bardock.
Goichi is never going to drop Bardock. He loves Bardock. Yeah. That's fine. That's his character.
Pretty much everyone had Bardock.
Oh, yeah. No.
If you didn't have Bardock, and then when he got nerfed,
character... Just the same thing with Cell, right?
Yeah,
everybody had a freaking Cell, right? Character gets nerfed. This character's useless now. I hate that so much. It's like the most frustrating thing.
Well, especially when a character gets buffed. Like, I've always been down with this character. This is my favorite I've just been waiting for this character to get good. Yeah. Like, what? Excuse me? But I remember thinking after season 2, I liked. There weren't a lot of characters I went like, yo, I love this character. Like, Videl, I liked a lot, but like she's kind of bad. I have to admit, but I do like her. So these are, okay. Cool.
Not as bad as Jiren though.
I don't use Jiren because he's not my kind of character, and whatever.
A lot of people do use Jiren. I think that's because they like him a lot. And you know what? I respect Jiren players.
Gogeta, I wanted to get good as Gogeta, but he's just. When I do combos, they just don't work. It's 50-50. Sometimes I do the same move and it works. But then sometimes it doesn't. I'm like, why? I'm not doing the same thing. Maybe I'm just bad. I'm sure if I play more, I'll understand it more. Actually, Super Broly is the character I liked the most. He's super fun.
Mm-hmm.
I found out some good combos with him. And then I stopped playing. And then...
Yeah, I like Super Broly. I like Dragon Ball DBZ Broly a little more, just because I like heavy and I like armor.
He does.
Those are my favorite things.
I know, I hate it.
But Dragon Ball Super Broly, I don't know if I've ever played against a character who. Oh yeah, no, I like big boys. I like armor. Dragon Ball Super Broly. I think I was saying I've never had a character who probably goes up 2 whole tiers when he's hitting you. Because oh my god. I I like, holy crap! Like, man, Dragon Ball Super Broly just does whatever the heck he wants to do. He can convert off whatever. He does so much damage. He's got power. He's a good character. I think, but if I'm being straight up, I think my favorite season 2 character is honestly Janemba. Started playing him because I started playing him a lot more recently, and I realized like I started playing a lot more with his kit. And I was like, man, I feel like this character's not really for me. I'm not really a teleport heavy character. But then I realized that like the teleports can actually like steal the corner. They can like do some crazy stuff. You can use them in combos. And I was like, ooh, this is cool. And so the more I started playing with him, I'm like, yo, Janemba's hype. I like Janemba. So Janemba is now officially part of my main team.
Dang.
Which is now Broly, Janemba, and Piccolo. So that's my main squad. I don't think I'm gonna change that main squad really. But I make multiple teams of my favorites. Like I have one of Piccolo, Trunks, and Tien because I also love those 2 characters. But season 3 with the assist thing is gonna be godlike because now I can play Krillin. Yay!
Yeah, okay. No one likes to play Krillin. No one's gonna play Krillin.
Yo, I wanted to play Krillin. I like Krillin.
Then why didn't you use Krillin?
Because I don't know how to use Krillin.
No loyalty, Blake. What did we just talk about with loyalty?
I never said Krillin's my main. I just said I like Krillin. I want to play Krillin. I'm just not good. Because I'm not good with Krillin. I want to be better with Krillin.
What I was saying is like season 2, when that finished, I was like, I probably won't. If there's season 3, I probably won't get season 3 because like in terms of like commitment, I'm kind of like,
yeah, you're done.
It sounds bad to say, but like I'm kind of done with Dragon Ball. Like there are other things I want to play.
Yeah.
But then they announced Kefla, and they announced Ultra Instinct Goku, and I'm like, well, those are 2 characters I really want to play as. I think I might get season 3. Yeah. I know I don't have to. I can just get the individual characters. But it's like, if I want to get Kefla and Ultra Instinct Goku, I don't know. I might as well get the season pass. Mm-hmm. So I'll probably get the season pass.
Yeah, I mean, me too. Obviously, I think it's a good investment. Personally, I mean, that's why I'm hesitant to buy Under Night or something like that because I've invested money and time into not only Smash Brothers or not only Dragon Ball, but also Smash Brothers, Soul Calibur 6, and Power Rangers, and I'm like, yo, I can't add another fighting game. I'm gonna lose my mind if I do that. So yeah, for me as of right now, those are like my main games. As for Smash, nothing really new to report on. I'm still playing the game. I'm still maining my favorite characters, and that's about it. Nothing new to report yet. So
I've also been playing Smash. Forgot to mention Byleth, super fun. Just been playing a lot of Byleth. I could probably say my favorite DLC character in terms of playing. I think Terry's still super hype, but there's a playing Byleth super great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
First, trying to keep it going. The RE3 watch. We are around 40 days from RE3 remake, and it's great. We saw some concept art about Nemesis. There's one where he's like being made, and the one where like Jill's pinned against the wall, and he's like about to go get her. It's 2 other ones, can't remember, but some cool concept art with Nemesis. That's really it. But can't wait for RE3. Let's go, baby. Hashtag RE3 make. Let's do it. So I had some more topics for the podcast, but with me, we did the intro a bit long. But I just want to go over just a little what we're gonna do.
I'm not gonna kick the mic out.
I was like, "What are you doing?"
You thought I was gonna? I stretched out my leg because my legs fall asleep.
So we talked about Dragon Ball Season 3, which I was gonna mention. So looks hype. Ninja has been going crazy this week as we're recording.
Yeah.
Something about don't say it's just a game because that means you're a loser.
I don't know if I have the tweet on me right now.
Blake might look it up right now, but his initial tweet, at first I was like, like I did a little head tilt, but I thought it was just me, like the way I was maybe reading it. I like maybe I see where he's coming from, but it just sounds kind of weird. That might just be me. And Blake's gonna read it in a minute.
Okay, if he deleted it though, hold on. Please don't have deleted it.
Yeah, you could look up like Ninja tweet probably.
Here we go. The phrase "it's just a game" is such a weak mindset. You are okay with what happened, losing imperfection of a craft. When you stop getting angry after losing, you've lost twice. There's always something to learn and always room for improvement. Never settle. Okay. So I've broken down this tweet significantly in my mind because like I understand what he's saying.
Yeah, me too. I understand.
Right?
It.
The intention is like to say like, yo, if you lost and you feel bad, that's fine. You should be using that fuel to like get better.
Don't just go, oh, well, who cares? Like, use that drive to get better.
Yes. However, the phrase "it's just a game" is traditionally used to calm people down when they are throwing their controller into their monitors or punching the other guy who won. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think he should have said. I think he shouldn't have said like the phrase "it's just a game" is he should have omitted that part. He should have just simply said like, yo, if you lose, use the anger to get better. That's like all he was trying to say. But he said it in such a backwards way that it sounded dumb.
Yeah, but like we said, we understand where he's coming from. However, the video with him, so there's like, again, wiggle room there. But the video where he's like it's kind of like defending himself, but he's like also like attacking the people who like don't get it.
Yeah.
That is like, actually, maybe we were wrong.
Yeah, maybe we were wrong. Maybe he didn't mean it like that.
Maybe
Maybe
he just meant literally like, no, don't just say it's just a game, because it's not just a game.
Yeah.
Will LeBron say it's just a game?
That was weird.
Which many people have pointed out he has said multiple times it's just a game.
Yeah.
He does get upset because there's money running on that stuff. But at the end of the day, he has said multiple times it's just a game. Yeah.
He's getting paid even if they lose.
Yes.
Right? Like, I mean, like, that's the thing, right? For a lot of people, for schmucks like us, we're just chilling here. We're playing Smash Brothers, and if I'm getting pissed that this Ganondorf just came on and teabagged me, I'm getting pissed, but I know it's just a game. I'm not going to go
So it was super funny going, you know what? Like, I get where he's coming from. It just sounds kind of weird. Maybe that's just me. You know what? Maybe that's just me. Mm-hmm. And then the video and actually,
I think
the video he just goes
weird.
off.
Yeah, he was like, it's such a lazy mindset, and it's like,
but
it's not. That's not where it's coming from. It's just a game is literally just used as a term to like be like, dude, it's not everything.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't gotta lose your shit over everything.
Yeah. It's. I think he should have recognized that there was context behind that phrase as opposed to people just telling him, dude, all you do is play a game. It seems like he's more mad at that.
Yeah.
At the concept of that people telling him all you do is play a video game.
It was funny though.
It was funny. It was interesting.
Funny. And the last thing was I just wanted to mention Castlevania 3 announced on Netflix.
Oh, season 3.
Yeah, season 3.
You said Castlevania 3.
No, sorry, I'm in the anime mindset.
Like the NES game or
no,
sorry,
I was in the anime mindset. Castlevania season 3 was announced for Netflix, and I'm super hyped. Season 1 was great. Season 2 was like fantastic. Like, oh my god, like I didn't think it could get better. It got better. And season 3, it looks hype.
Yes.
I'm surprised you haven't seen it yet, Blake.
I mean, this is for another day, but I might get into this some other day, but I've never really cared for Castlevania on an aesthetic level or like musically. Castlevania is incredible. But like aesthetically and like story wise, I've always been like, yeah, there's a bunch of guys who go out and kill people.
I understand, and I feel the same way to a degree. But I think because I've seen it, like I don't care about like the vampire thing and all that. Castlevania, it's real good.
I know it's really. I've seen some of the show. I have seen it. I haven't like never seen it. I've seen bits and pieces, and it is good. I'm glad it's good. It's just like I'm still kind of like heads getting split off, and
the animation's so good.
It is really dang good.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. It's probably one of the best animated shows for like a Western show that I've ever seen in my life.
It's great. As me and you, we both advocate that there are not any good Western animated shows anymore for all ages. Oh, this is different.
I mean,
well, you know what I mean. Not just for kids. Blake, I'm surprised you're not a big advocate for Castlevania.
Oh, I am. I'm trying to get my dad to watch the show because my dad loves like people exploding and their guts spilling out and them eating. And
you should watch it with your dad. You should watch it with your dad.
But you know what my dad told me?
What?
I'm not a big fan of animation stuff.
You told me this. I forgot.
It hurt me. I was
no,
like, Dad,
it always hurts.
Dad, you're breaking me. You're breaking me,
hurts.
Pops.
It's really good. Like,
it is really good.
I didn't watch this. Sorry, I was holding Blake's shoulder for a while.
You were touching.
I was trying to. I don't know. Try to speak to his soul. I guess. I didn't watch Castlevania for a while. I think I waited. I didn't watch it until like a little bit after season 2 came out. But I started watching. And I went, oh my god! Like, yeah. We always talk about it's really only like kid shows and like Disney, and you might have some things like Samurai Jack that can appeal to not just kids, but Castlevania does it, man. And yeah, it's animated gorgeously. The characters are great. Like the writing's really good, and yeah, the animation's fantastic. Like again, season 1 I thought was like really good. Like, oh, this is solid. Like, but I came out of it going, the animation was great. Season 2, I thought, no, this is a great sequel to the first season.
Mm-hmm.
It improved upon really every aspect, and it was fantastic. In season 3, I can't wait. Don't know what they're gonna do. It looks great.
So I was gonna say, one good sign is that they're taking their time, unlike Voltron. Because Voltron, after like season, well, I mean, I'm just using it as an example. After like season, I don't know, 3 or 4, they were just like, yo, season 5, season 6, season 7. I'm like, okay, you guys are going way too fast. That means you didn't think this through. You guys are just throwing them out there. So I mean, I'm glad to see Castlevania like actually putting effort in. I do like the short
seasons as well, because like,
yes,
obviously everyone would go, well, we would love more episodes, but like it helps to make the story tight, and it helps to with the animation, like. They can really go all out if you only have like 5 or 6 episodes, and all the episodes look fantastic. Season 3, Trevor does a grand cross, and I'm very excited. It's gonna be great. Season 3, baby. Let's go. Okay, so that's really it for the topics. However, Blake, we did something special last week for Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day weekend, specifically. It wasn't a date, I swear.
Just say it. You better say it before people start thinking they're shipping us.
I mean,
we watched the Sonic movie. Sonic movie.
On Sunday night, we decided to go see Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
And first off, let me just say, going up to the ticket booth and saying 2 tickets for Sonic the Hedgehog, that like threw me for a loop. Like,
as soon as you said that, I was like,
Blake was
I was dying.
He was dying.
Like, I cannot believe we walked up to a freaking movie concessions, looked at this young woman in the eyes and said, can I get 2 tickets for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, please? And then she replied, where do you want to sit?
I said 2 tickets for Sonic the Hedgehog. And it wasn't until I finished that sentence, or I was in the middle of Sonic the Hedgehog, I went, oh my god, I just said that.
It's just the mere concept that this is an existing thing, right? Like, I don't know. I didn't feel the same way I don't know if I felt the same way when like I ordered tickets for Detective Pikachu.
Because it's not the name, it's Sonic the Hedgehog.
The fact that I said Sonic the Hedgehog. Yep. Like, it's not called Sonic the Hedgehog the movie, it's just Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, oh, that's weird. Like, I still think that's weird. But what did you think of Sonic the Hedgehog?
I thought it was a perfectly serviceable kids film. I wasn't really blown away by it because, like, watching it, I thought, like, seeing a bunch of, like, Alvin and the Chipmunks, I've seen that. I've seen any similar movie like that where there's, like, a CGI character with, humans.
The Smurfs?
Yeah, Smurfs. Also, actually, that's a much better example. I thought, yeah, I've seen this movie before. It's just, like, this palette kind of movie with Sonic. But it was, like, nothing I went, that was terrible. It was, again, perfectly serviceable. I did enjoy it. I'm just leave that right now. Those are my thoughts.
I agree. I will sum it up much simpler. To me, dumb, but fun. It was dumb, but I had fun.
Not sure how much fun I had. I'm not too sure.
I had fun. Did I have oh wow, what a blast! Like, what a ride! Like, no, I was
there were parts I liked, but again, like, there are no surprises because I've seen it. No. It's because I've seen this movie before, like, so many times.
Exactly. There's the big guy who's like, oh, I gotta harness its power, and he really boiled down Dr. Eggman a lot. Hard boiled him. I'm just kidding. No, but they really, yeah. What I found was interesting is like when I was watching it, like now looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, I can totally see the live action CGI character structure where it's like this creature came into my life and he's making me realize that I do want like all
like
this.
Smurfs is a perfect example
Because that's exactly what happens to Smurfs. I don't want to get what is he? This is conflict. I don't
he doesn't want a
kids.
baby. He doesn't want kids.
Freaking
until the Smurfs come. He's like, I want kids.
Yeah. Wow. Took a bunch of blue people to make you realize that, and then but this one is like I could see it. But I felt like it made more sense because it was a buddy comedy. You know what I mean? It was like, here's this random blue hedgehog who, like, somehow teaches James Marsden
how to love.
How to love his life, I guess, for some reason. Which, you know, again, it's dumb.
Yeah.
But it's fun, right? The ride is fun. It's dumb, but the ride is fun. And that's how I honestly feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
I liked it enough to where, like, yeah, I'd watch it again. Would I buy it Blu-ray special edition? No, not really. I mean, I'd watch it again, but
Yes. My thing is like, would I watch it again? Maybe if I caught it on TV, but I might just watch it for like 5 minutes and then change it. Again, I didn't hate it, but I was like, it's you know, like, okay, well, I know, like, I guess more specifics.
Yeah, we'll break it down. Let's get into some spoilies.
The voice actor for Sonic, I thought it was fine.
He did actually a pretty solid job.
It was solid. Like, nothing, again, like, our favorites, like, name some voice actors who played Sonic.
Roger Craig Smith.
There you go. Who is, that's Sonic X voice, right?
No. Sonic X voice is, I always mess up his name. I always cannot remember his name. Jason Griffith.
Oh, okay.
Jason Griffith. This is.
Yeah, he's my favorite personal Sonic.
I agree. He's consistently had either bad direction or something like that, bad lines. But like, what's weird is his voice work in Sonic and the Black Knight. It's not a very good game, but his voice work in that game is dang good.
It's really
like
good.
I'm like, wow.
I think Sonic Unleashed as well. He did.
And then he stopped playing the character.
Yeah. They gave him, you know, the werehog. They made him do a weird voice. But when he's not the werehog, I think he's pretty good.
Yeah. Like, he's really good. Jason Griffith's really good.
Jaleel White.
Oh, Jaleel White. Yeah. Well, does Jaleel White even count now? I mean, the man did it like so long ago that he was too cool, kiddo, and stuff like that. This is old school Sonic. Like, that's like, you know, if someone touches you in a place you don't like, that's no good. Like, come on. I
feel like he was probably on the level of Jaleel White, I would say. I don't like him more than the two names you just mentioned. I think they do Sonic better, personally. I thought he did a solid job.
I mean, see, that's the thing. I don't know whether to chalk it up to the writing that made Sonic. Was it Sonic? Yeah, it was Sonic. Was it like the best parts of Sonic? Not really. Was it the good parts of Sonic?
Kinda.
Was it the worst parts of Sonic?
Debatable.
It's debatable. I mean, he was very... I don't even know how to summarize him. Like, he was... Like, the loneliness thing I thought was like, okay. And, well, I guess I should talk about this. Is it weird that the two best... Are quote-unquote best... Most popular, I guess I should say. Video game adaptations are stories that... Tell stories that are opposite to what their video games like themes are, right? You got Sonic, which is like more or less only in a few games is it really about the superpower of friendship, right? The only ones I can think of are like Unleashed,
Sonic and the Black Knight,
Heroes, Sonic and the Black Knight. Yeah, we're friends with the sword now, like you know what I mean, all that crap. But I mean, like, is Sonic about friendship? Yeah. Is Sonic like hate friends? No, but like. Is Sonic lonely?
No.
I don't think so.
No,
I never really
really
felt like he was lonely, but okay. I mean, I guess he can be friends with James Marsden. Meanwhile, Detective Pikachu is telling a story about a son and father, which, if you haven't tuned in since Gen 1, you still don't have a father unless you're playing Gen 3.
Nope.
I thought that was weird. But, like, so to go back to Sonic, I guess, like, man, do I want a second one? I don't want a second one, but I mean, sure, I guess, if we gonna throw Tails in there, okay. I would like to know why the Knuckles tribe was trying to kill young Sonic. It's pretty messed up, Knuckles. What are you doing over there, buddy? Trying to actually murder a baby. I would like to know what the deal was with Realistic Owl, character from the Legend of Ga'Hoole.
Mm-hmm. I was like, is that? I was like, I'm gonna ask Blake about this later because I'm maybe not well versed in Sonic canon, but I don't know who this character is. Is this made up? Maybe it's not.
As far as I'm aware, it is made up. I don't know. It could be a real thing. I have not dipped into the Sonic lore that hard.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, I know the characters, but I don't know the lore.
Mm-hmm.
However, there is an owl in the OG Sonic movie, and he's an old fart owl who's...
So not the same thing.
Don't think so, but... I mean, I really don't know how to, like, elaborate on my feelings for this movie other than it's dumb and silly, but it is fun. You know? There's some cool moments.
I know
some really dumb moments.
I'm not a huge fan of Jim Carrey in general, and, like, just his acting style. He's a good actor, and when he's, more serious roles and everything. But when he's, like, the Jim Carrey everybody loves, I'm not a huge fan. I know people say he's one of, if not the best parts of the movie. And I'm like, you know what? He's fine. I'm sure if I liked Jim Carrey more, I'd be like, yeah, he's doing the Jim Carrey thing. But I don't like the Jim Carrey thing. And he does it a lot in this movie. And it's fine.
I like Jim Carrey. I think he's funny. I did think he was funny. I just feel like, I think the weird thing is the kind of stipulation between the writing for Dr. Eggman, Robotnik, whatever. I was like, doesn't really feel like Eggman to me, right? That's my thing. It's like, you could have called him Dr. something else, right? And I would have been like, yeah, that's fine. But like, the fact that it was Dr. Eggman specifically, I was like, it doesn't really feel like Dr. Eggman, but Jim Carrey's funny. So I was like, Again, dumb, but fun. Like the part where he's running from the T-Rex for some reason. That was weird. That actually baffled me. I'm like, what does this have to do with anything?
I told Blake, there's so many jokes where, like, I understood you're trying to make a joke. But it was like, why'd you make that joke?
Yeah.
Here, now. Like, there's the joke where Sonic jumps on a drone to save James Marsden, and he goes, oh, can you believe Amazon was going to deliver packages with these things? And I'm like, okay, I get the joke. In concept, that could be funny. But why is Sonic making that joke right now? That's so random. There's so many random jokes where I went to Blake, I went, but why though? But why is that? Why was that said?
There were a few moments you said that.
Also, in terms of the plot, I went, but why?
Yeah.
Like when Sonic runs around in a circle because he's lonely, I go, but why?
Because he's frustrated. They never explained his electric blue power.
No, they didn't.
They just kind of said like, oh, he gets it.
And James Marsden's like, I love this town. It is my town. I go, but why?
Mm-hmm. His wife wasn't even in the movie.
No.
That poor character. She contributed. Not really. I don't know.
No, not really.
She didn't really do it. I don't know. Again, I don't know, man. Like, it's a movie that, like, I feel like if I dissect it, I'm gonna start being like, yeah, that was bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm just saying, like, it's dumb, but it's fun. Like, you know, there's a lot of stuff in it where I'm just like, that doesn't make sense, but okay, dumb but fun. The same thing with Detective Pikachu, where it's like, it's dumb. I don't know how dumb. Is it dumber than Sonic, or is it smarter than Sonic? It's probably smarter than Sonic, I think. But I don't remember.
That third act is not that great.
Yeah, see, that was pretty dumb, right?
Let's see.
See, that third act, I was like...
With Sonic the Hedgehog, it's everyone's going, yo, like, freaking great surprise. It is fantastic. It's not... I don't know if people said it's fresh, but it's like, this was a great experience. And I go, is it? Or is it just because we all thought it was going to be garbage?
Yeah, I think it legitimately was because our expectations were like...
Again, I think it's fine. I think it's serviceable. It's decent. Yeah. But... like, everybody's saying it's the best video game movie we've had. I think Detective Pikachu, again, I'm going to say this before I go into more. I think Sonic the Hedgehog and Detective Pikachu are both fine. I don't think both of them were fantastic. Maybe, are they? If I had to argue, they're both great. Probably not. they're both fine. They're both watchable movies that are, again, like you said, done but fun. I think Detective Pikachu is like much stronger in a lot of areas. Again, relatively to Sonic, it's not great, but I think it's much stronger in a lot of ways. Like, I think like the world, with Sonic, again, it's just Sonic's in this structure. Like you said, the Smurfs, Alvin and the Chipmunks. It's just Sonic placed in the real world.
What I think is interesting is like a lot of those movies, the joke is like, oh, what would the Smurfs do if they were in New York? They'd probably make jokes about
Blue Man Group.
Yeah, Blue Man Group or churros. I don't know.
Detective Pikachu. I feel like I'm in the world of Pokemon.
Yes,
and I love the world of was it Neo? No, that's not right. Do you know what the city's called in Detective Pikachu?
I forget. I
like
the name of it, but I just can't remember.
I forget. But the city, like, that's great. Like, the set design is fantastic in that movie. Like, I really believe in that world. Got
Snorlax sleeping in the middle of the road. It's adorable. I just want to give him a hug.
Pikachu, Detective Pikachu as a character is better than Sonic. Like, more entertaining, more interesting, I think. In terms of, like, the story, I think, like, having Detective Pikachu, the son, like, this kid and Pikachu work together, and spoilers for Detective Pikachu, like, that is, you don't know it, like, at the time, but many people did, because it's kind of obvious. It's really just, like, a father-son, like, kind of growing back together, like, they're dysfunctional, they have a dysfunctional relationship, but they're getting back together and, like, do this weird adventure.
Yeah.
While Sonic, they go for it, oh, James Marsden, he wants to be a cop in San Francisco. And then he decides he loves his town.
Because Sonic told him to.
Yeah, because Sonic told him to. There's not really a reason why. Sonic is lonely. Then he's not. That's it.
Yeah.
I think would have been more interesting if, like, because we see Tails at the end of the movie, and Tails looks great. I think maybe it would have been more interesting if, like, the beginning of the movie is probably the same. Like, Sonic's told to stay away from, his planet, and he goes to Earth. And maybe Tails, he comes back, is like, yo, Sonic, we need your help. Like, maybe they're friends or whatever. But we need your help back on your planet, and maybe it's a mix of Sonic is either, like, afraid, or he just likes his life on Earth and the way he is, like, just doing nothing and just having fun all day. But he has to learn to have responsibility and go back to his world and save it. And again, this is me, like, I'm not a very good writer. It's easy to say this is what they should have done. But I feel like that at least sounds a bit more interesting than Sonic is lonely and wants friends.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking the same thing. I remember my friend Colton was like, we were talking to him. I was telling him, like, dude, I totally think video game movies could totally work. And he's like, I don't know, dude. I don't think they can. I'm like, I think they can. Like, a Sonic movie to me is like, it's like, number one, you have to make Sonic kind of feel like Sonic. And number one, to me, the biggest thing Sonic has is, like, he's kind of cocky, right? He's not unbearably cocky like some of the games make him out to be.
Yes.
But he is, like, he's confident, He's like the mighty freedom fighter, whatever, right? And Tails comes along, he's like his biggest fan, right? Right? The backstory of Sonic and Tails is that it changes every now and then, but it's something like Tails followed Sonic around, but he was too slow, and then Tails, like, learned to use his tails to fly, and he was, like, inspired by Sonic. Tails' story is nice, right? Mm-hmm. That right there is an arc for a character, right? Mm-hmm. Sonic's arc can be like, yo, I need to let this kid be my friend, I need to trust him. The whole thing is, like, trust and friendship, right? That's where the friendship thing comes in. I'm not saying that'll work 100% of the time, but I feel like James Marsden's just kind of like, yo, I don't like this town. Now, you know what? I like this town, Sonic. You're right. It's boring and safe, I guess. Okay. Also, goodbye, Sonic.
Because also, like, the story doesn't really build too much.
Yeah.
Also. Mm-hmm. But, like, yeah, going back to Detective Pikachu, like, again, it's fine. Yeah. But, again, I like this relationship, like the kid and Pikachu, and it represents the father-son relationship, like the world that they built. I think it's really impressive that they were able to do all, like, not all the Pokemon look, like, amazing, But I think most of the Pokemon that they put in look pretty good, especially when you're throwing in Pokemon in live action. Those look terrifying and awful, all of them, even Pikachu. But they made it work for the most part.
Yeah.
I think that's really impressive. I think the acting is better in Sonic because it's not very strong.
Well, it has a lot of more
Pikachu.
professional actors as opposed to, like, really the only major star was Ryan, I think, right? Ryan Reynolds.
Bill Nye, I guess.
He was in that movie?
Yeah, Bill Nye. He was the evil dude.
Are you sure?
Yes. His name flashed across Bill Nye. Anyway, I just, like, Detective Pikachu has its many faults. Like, the third act really falls apart.
Wait. Bill Nye the Science Guy?
Oh, sorry, Bill Nye. Sorry, forgot to say that.
Oh, I was like, what?
Sorry,
he was not in Pokemon.
It's Bill, sorry, you're right. I said it wrong. I apologize.
Oh, no. Okay.
But I just think what Detective Pikachu does is just more interesting, and I give it, like, more credit to that.
Yeah.
Like, after finishing, well, I saw Detective Pikachu twice in the theater, because I really wanted to see it.
Yeah, me too.
And I picked up the Blu-ray for Detective Pikachu. I picked up the Steelbook because I liked it that much. And to be fair, every time I watch it, Detective Pikachu, I like it a little less. I thought it was great the first time because I was, like, really pleasantly surprised. And I got to the point where I think it's like, yeah, it's okay, it's fine. But Sonic, like I said, I might watch it if it's on TV, but probably don't want to watch it again.
Yeah, but I don't hate it as much as, like, I despise something like the Smurfs. Or,
yeah, that's fair.
Or Alvin and the Chipmunks. I don't despise it like that. And, I mean, you know what? If I'm going to be straight up, I'm going to tell you what the sequel's going to be right now. The sequel is going to be Tails comes in and Sonic wants to make another friend, but James Marsden's jealous. He's like, yo,
oh my God.
It's bro. You know it's going to be true.
No, you're right.
It's dumb, right? Right? And then James Mars is going to be suspicious of Tails, like, yo, dude, you what do you want with Sonic? Why do you want to take him away from me? You know, stuff like that. And then it's going to be like Wreck-It Ralph 2, where it's like, bro, you got to just let me go and have friends and stuff like that.
Oh, because they will always be friends, even if they're separated by realms.
Yes.
Dang. Does he go supersonic at the end?
I don't know.
Does Knuckles pop up, or is he the post-credit scene?
Post-credit scene, probably. Unless it's Shadow.
Then will they call Sonic 3 and Knuckles?
Holy shit. That's genius. That would actually be you know what? I would actually give 1 star to Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Sonic Knuckles.
What do you think is going to happen?
In Sonic 3 and Knuckles?
Yeah, do you think that
the tribe comes in and tries to beat up,
no,
tries to capture.
Do you think they'll name it Sonic 3 and Knuckles?
I hope so. That'd be dope.
Great.
Like, I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's actually really cool. Because it's funny. They did the meme. And Sonic's all about memes. There's a Sonic meme.
There's a Sonic meme.
I was like, oh my god. I mean, then they did it. Did they do it organically? Kinda. I thought it was okay.
For me, and this isn't a diss, it sounds like one, but it's not. The best part of the movie was seeing the Sega logo and seeing all the Sega games pop up on screen.
Yeah.
And I saw Kiryu from Yakuza, and I saw Valkyria Chronicles on the big screen, and I freaked out. I went, "Oh my god, Blake, it's Valkyria Chronicles!" I love that game, and it's there.
Yeah, I saw that too. Hey man, I'm still holding out for that Altered Beast movie that's definitely coming sometime soon. It'll never come.
But we're getting a Monster Hunter movie.
Not Japan only.
No, Monster Hunter movie with the main girl from Resident Evil franchise, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson.
Mila Djokovic?
Yes. Sorry, thank you. Directed by Paul W.S. Anderson.
Hey, it better be the wildest, craziest movie I've ever seen in my life.
Probably.
And you know what? It makes sense. What do you do in Monster Hunter? You go around, you beat monsters up. Because they suck. They hate you.
Yeah.
Anyways, but okay. I think we can all agree that Sonic is dumb, but enjoyable. It's silly, but fun. However, we need to talk about something very important.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to release this movie with a horrible first design, and they were going to zoom in multiple times on the frickin' character's face. And have you expect... They were going to have the dog lick disgusting Sonic's face.
No,
they were going to have you try to fall in love with a baby version of that monstrosity.
And what was Tails gonna look like?
I don't even know. But that sounds awful.
I'm just imagining yellow Sonic, because it probably would have looked like that.
Like Lego? Red Sonic Lego?
Oh, yeah, that's great. Blake and I saw a bunch of custom Legos, in quotes, custom Legos.
Picture.
And they had his Sonic Lego. He was dressed in a flannel. Was it a red coat?
I don't know why.
It was a red, but he was bare chested. He was bare chested.
He was in like a button-up shirt, but it was unbuttoned and like flannel for some reason. And then below that
they had tails. They had tails.
Yeah, they had
which
tails.
kind of looked like tails. They tried.
But then they have a freaking just it's Sonic. It's a Sonic Lego, so it's Sonic the Hedgehog clearly, but it's painted red, and I'm like, what the heck is even this?
Knuckles on it.
Did it really?
I think so. What else could it be?
I don't know. Red Sonic, some idiot who just was like, I don't know this stuff, man. It's just Red Sonic.
It was funny because it was Red Sonic, and I was like, "Is this?" And it like fell over in a comical manner, and Blake just looked away in disappointment.
I can't believe someone did that, but
it was so good.
But yo, they were gonna release this movie with that monstrous design.
When you said that, I thought about the climactic moments when Sonic is glowing blue with electricity, and it's a dope, badass pose. He looks pretty cool. But imagine that cool moment with ugly Sonic. It would have been horrifying.
There was a point in the theater where I looked at you and was like, dude, they were gonna make this movie with that thing.
And we talked about it. It's awful design.
It's
like we hated it from day one.
The new design,
it made it worse.
It made the bad one look like monumentally worse.
And it looked bad from the beginning. I think it's because we talked about it before the movie. It's because you know they can do better. Like we assumed before, but now we knew they could do better. This design looks pretty good, but they started off like that.
This might sound a little harsh, but I severely hope that whatever producer at Paramount sat there and was like, yeah, but it just needs to be realistic. Sat there, looked at the design, was like, yeah, that's A-okay. That's A-okay. I hope he got fired from his job, and I hope that he lost all his money.
But I will say kudos to the studio for taking feedback and changing the design.
Yeah, poor studio.
Poor studio closed down, yeah.
What the heck, Paramount? You guys
really dumb.
suck.
But I'm glad we were able to, go to the movies and go, thank you for changing the design.
Yes.
Which I think is the reason a lot of people went. Because I wouldn't probably not have watched it if you had old Sonic design. But hey, he looks cool now.
He looks solid now.
Looks solid
now. You want to know why? Because he looks almost identical to the OG Sonic.
Aside from the Sega logo, my favorite part was when Sonic ran with the turtle. And that was cute.
Oh, that was adorable. Hold on.
That was cute.
One thing we didn't mention.
Mm-hmm.
Have you tried Olive Garden's unlimited pasta bowl? It never stops, Josh.
But have you thought about taking that pasta bowl, taking it home to your new apartment that you found on Zillow?
You know what, though? My feet are kind of killing me. I've been thinking about getting some Pumas.
Yo, let's get some Pumas, though.
Product placement was garbage. Also, this video is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. No, I'm kidding.
Have you thought about, I don't know, playing games online on your phone?
What else was there for product placement? There's a beer or something, right? Or was that just like a made-up beer? It might have been a made-up beer.
I don't know. It's probably a real beer.
I know Zillow. Olive Garden got 2.
Yes.
Yes, because they say the slogan.
Yep. I didn't know that was the slogan.
I
thought that was just... No, I'm sure it is. But I thought that was just a joke the character was making.
And I think it's an older slogan, but I don't know. I don't think it's their modern slogan, but I know that it's like a slogan. Olive Garden got 2. Here's a $50 gift card to Hush Hush from the government. What was the other one? Zillow Pumas. Sonic shoes are brought to you by Puma. I swear there was one. I mean, I guess Toy.
We saw Sonic's feet. I forgot. We saw his feet and what they look like. Because we saw the bottom.
They made an effort.
Not fully, but we saw like the bottom of his sole, so we know that they're fuzzy and have like they have blue fur, but skin tone also. But we saw the full model of what his foot looks like, which is just kind of a small human foot.
You said that before we went into the theater. You're like, you think the movie's going to show Sonic's feet? I'm like, I hope to God not.
What?
But no. Now the movie went out of its way twice to show me his feet. Dr. Eggman makes this, I know what his feet look like, right? And then there's a part where he's passed out on the freaking kitchen island. Yeah. And then they take his shoes off and his socks have holes in them. So now I can visualize what his feet look like. I didn't want to see Sonic's feet. I did not need to see Sonic's feet. I don't care what they look like, people.
Have you ever thought what they look like?
No,
though?
I don't give a crap.
But how does he run so fast?
He's just a fast hedgehog. It's not his feet. I don't care if it's his shoes either. It's Sonic.
The way I joked about it was like kind of like the Goofy movie. The most the Goofy movie does is I think it's Pete where he like looks in his glove. He's like, no, it's extremely Goofy movie where Max's friend with the glasses. Yeah, he looks inside his glove. You don't see his hand. But he's like, yeah, you ever wonder why he always wear gloves?
Yeah,
and that's fun. I was like,
and nobody answers him.
The most we'll get is like James Marsden will they'll have a fight or something. Like they'll try to pull something like his glove or his feet or his shoes, and Sonic will be like, no, you can't take that off, and he'll pull off the glove or shoe. And you won't see anything, but James Marsden will go, oh, or scream. And then Sonic will put it back on and go, hey, no. Like, they're not doing that again. Or it's like, I'm conscious about it.
What? There's a movie or show that did that.
I'm sure a lot of them did that. I don't know. Something did do it, but I feel like a lot of things did it.
Yeah, but I imagine that's going to happen in 2. Right?
I thought that was the most we were going to get, but no, we actually
Watch it happen in 2 where James Marsden's like doing that to Tails, like, I don't trust you, let me take your freaking shoes off, and then close up on the foot, right? Like Quentin Tarantino, close up on the foot. Right?
Oh!
And it's like, oh no, it smells, or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong about the Sonic sequel.
No, that sounds like a cookie cutter sequel.
Like something,
that sounds like a cookie cutter
that
sequel.
Sounds like the kind of. I don't want to be right.
I hope you are though.
All right. Well, I think we can agree that Sonic is dumb and fun, had a horrible past design, and that the sequel is going to be the best movie ever.
And then we'll get Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Can't wait. It actually sounds kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then I can't wait for Sonic Heroes, or they can call it Sonic Heroes.
I would like Sonic Heroes. Avengers style Sonic.
What comes up must come down. Yet, my feet don't touch the ground.
What? Oh, I was like, what are you talking about? I forgot.
What was that from? I knew it.
No.
What is
it? Sonic R. Yeah.
Turn it off.
It's Sonic R.
Turn it off. Turn the podcast off. John actually does not know what I was referencing. We just talked about it.
That's not Sonic Heroes.
It is Sonic Heroes. It's the opening lyrics to Sonic Heroes. What comes up must come down.
Shit, you're right.
Yeah, my feet don't touch the ground.
I literally thought of the second line. I wasn't thinking of the... I was doing the lyrics in my head, and I went straight to the second line.
Sonic line. The second line is like, watch me. That one?
No, that's not the second
line. Move the night away, watch me. Save the day.
That's not the second line, is it?
The second line is, who cares? It's Sonic Heroes. I'm sorry. Whatever. I'm getting off topic.
Yeah. But we did a lot of talking. Again, I apologize. I think the first hour was me talking about stuff, but it was a lot of stuff. And I had to talk about the magicians.
You know what? I actually think that was fine. That sounds like a really terrible thing. That sounds actually offensive. I'm surprised I was survived.
But you know what I was not offended by, pleasantly? Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie. At a theater near you.
I kind of was.
But yes, that's it from us. Thank everybody for watching. If you watched all the way through, we applaud you because that was a lot. But yeah, so that's it for me. I'm gonna sneeze. I'm trying not to. I'm making a face. But that was us. Blake and I. doing our podcast talking about Sonic. We hope you enjoy. I don't have to sneeze anymore. And we'll see you guys next time in our next video. See you guys.
Goodbye.